Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the countdown on and it started. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, we did not have music this time, but welcome. Scarlett will be along in a second. But welcome to Sci-Fi Vision Presents Talisman Transmissions for May 31st. Tonight we're going to be deep diving the sixth episode of the season, which is called The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. Just for those of you that are new to the show, we have our deep dive on Sunday night. Let me bring Scarlett in here. There we go. Whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. Hold on. Sorry.
My crow wants to party.
Yep, it does. For people who are new that don't know, we have our deep dive on Sunday, and tomorrow on Mondays at 10 Eastern, we have our review show for From. So lots of From stuff. And then this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, June 3rd, Liz Saunders, who plays Donna, will be joining us live, and you can ask your questions in the chat. So make sure you all show up for that. But please, sorry, my volume's really low. I'm trying to find the thing. But please make sure you like the video, hype it if you can, and subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. We always appreciate it, and it helps us out. But hey, everybody, let's see. We have Petty, Kaiser, Muncher, Just Me, Golden Child. Hello. Welcome. Hello, Scarlett.
Hello.
So what did you think of the episode? It seems like it's been mixed because I liked it, but not everybody did. So I don't know. What did you think?
Oh, I'm kind of mixed about it too. It's a mixture of like interest and happiness and frustration, which I'll probably point out probably in this scene as kind of frustration.
Oh, well, fair.
And the paint scene was kind of frustration, but other scenes I liked.
I feel like a lot of people maybe didn't like it because it was a lot more like character driven as opposed to like action driven. Which it was, but I think you need some of that. Like it can't always be, go. So I don't know. I enjoyed it, but
yeah, but Julie has one job, and it's story walking, and she needs to do that job. Painter's not her job. She needs to story walk. And plus, I'm kind of frustrated with Julie not telling anybody about the man in yellow, like what she's seen. She's told no one.
Yeah, that frustrates me too. I don't know if they believe her, but yeah, I wish she'd tell somebody. And I still feel like at some point, hopefully, she'll see the suit or hear them talking, and then she'll bring it up.
Or maybe she would just say, "Hey, I saw a monster eating a liver during the day." During the day, the point.
Yeah.
Monsters during the day.
But yeah, I just wonder if she's worried people won't believe her because Randall doesn't believe her. So I think that might be part of it, but I don't know.
I thought he was just concerned that she was going to have one seizure too many. More than
he totally was. But I think she feels like he doesn't believe her is why he did it. And I think
there's too much doubt in this town.
There is. But I think that's why she's hesitant. And I think that's why she, was kind of talking to Sarah. But yes, I hope these stories connect and they eventually find out that they're both kind of maybe involved. I don't want to say involved with, but, having to do with the same guy, and that they both, both groups have seen something bad. And yeah, but they don't tell each other enough. We know about that. We complain about that. So we'll have to see. Let's see. Muncher says, I need action horror driven. This season was weak. All right. Petty said it was incredible. Just Me said it was mixed. And Kimberly said that agreed with Kaiser. Some of the transitions could have been done in a different way, but overall I thought it was good. Hi, B. Welcome. Whoops. I put the same thing. And Naveed said, I think it was disappointing because we waited 2 weeks for the episode of just conversations, even though they were necessary. Maybe they should have, well, I guess they couldn't split the season at a different time, though. They can't choose Memorial Day. But maybe if they had started them a week earlier or a week later, then it would have been like a more exciting one, after the break. That's the only thing I can think, because yeah, I get that. We did have to wait 2 weeks, and it wasn't for an action-packed episode, that's for sure. But I
Yeah,
mean, they have
I
to.
was hoping that maybe Donna, when her kind of stasis mode between life and death, would have gleaned some kind of information or had some kind of vision or something like that.
Yeah, I had not thought really about the fact until people started saying it that she could have actually died. Like, I don't know, I didn't connect the dots, and that makes a lot of sense. So I'm curious if we'll get something out of her once she starts talking about.
There because like in Yellow Jackets, they had that like people were in between life and death and had you know seen
Yeah.
things. You know,
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. Especially because it did seem like the way that she did it, like she was going to be dead, and then Boyd screaming at her, and suddenly she's not. So I don't know.
that's
Like,
mysterious.
yeah, did he will her back? I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Maybe something did happen to her when she died. I don't know, but I guess we'll have to wait to see if she remembers anything, of what happened while she was not awake. Yeah. So, but I don't know. I still like the episode overall.
Mhm.
Destiny said I feel like Donna will cause something to happen since she died or have some sort of information. Yes. Definitely could happen. And I'm sorry, I am so bad at remembering who said what in watch parties when people say things, but somebody had suggested that maybe she has a nightmare that if she did die could come to life.
Uh-oh. No,
Which
no.
I had not thought of either. So that was definitely
Yeah.
not my idea, but I like the idea. I just don't remember who said it, so I'm sorry. But yeah. Muncher says the homie Boyd performing miraculous resuscitation in Colony House. Boyd can raise the dead. Are you people not entertained? If he actually did, yeah. Then yeah. But I guess it depends if he did.
There's for the people who equate Boyd with Jesus.
Yeah.
Miracles.
That's true too. I hadn't thought of, although that imagery you get in a lot of shows, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I guess I feel like we did get more with Jade's story, but not until like the end of the episode. And maybe that's part of the problem too, is it feels like none of the like more actiony parts of the story like moved
Mhm.
forward a whole lot, because we spent all of last episode him on his trip and figuring out what they had to do, and then this episode was like talking about what they had to do. They didn't actually do anything until like the last 5 minutes when Boyd finds the door, and then that was cool. But maybe the fact that it lasted till the very end, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we
Actually,
need
if we
more.
get more into the scene, I'll probably go into more detail about it because it's just one of the things I don't like about From is that when people set somebody off on a quest or something, then they argue about what they found.
Yeah, well, at least they're talking, just not all together, I guess.
Yeah, but it came to a good, positive ending, so that's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I definitely like that. I do think this show is a little different though when you binge it compared to when you watch it and we're like waiting week by week.
Yeah,
Um,
or 2 weeks.
or 2 weeks. It makes it seem to take a lot longer.
Yeah.
Justin also said fears manifest in the forest, so maybe hope can manifest stuff too. And you
Mhm.
talked about you think Tian Chen
Yeah.
brought the food. So yeah, maybe
Mhm.
Boyd manifested Donna being healed.
Because they're
I
kind of concentrating on the negative because the negative's in their face, like the monsters are in their face. But maybe, especially if somebody, I mean, this is morbid, but especially if somebody dies and then thinks pleasant thoughts. Because I think Tian Chen might have thought pleasant thoughts about feeding people and making sure her son was okay when she passed
yeah,
away, even though she was being tortured and all that. That's what manifested with all the food and everything on the shore of the lake.
yeah. I think
And if
that's
she and other people might be able to use that, Boyd might be able to use that. I think he's kind of using it here, you know.
Yeah. I only question though, how do we know if that's true? Unless the only way we're gonna know if that's true is if something did happen to Donna and if she says, "Oh, they see something," and she's like, "Oh, that was me." That's I think the only way we're gonna know because generally when somebody dies, they die. Um, so yeah, I don't know. But how
Like her
easy is it?
sister's walking around town all of a sudden. Yes, I manifested my sister.
Oh, maybe. That's the question though. How easy generally is it to have good thoughts when you die? Most people,
Probably
especially
not.
well, but most of them are ripped apart, so they're not, I mean, Tien Chen, I'm surprised she did, was thinking about her son and stuff rather than thinking about the pain. But I guess it just depends on the person, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. B says, I very much prefer binging, and I think I would be more invested in this season if I were binging. Waiting a week between episodes causes me to lose some interest. I know for others it's opposite. I think them putting the space in between the two episodes was probably not the best move, maybe. Because I know that a lot of people were really, really annoyed by it. But I mean, it fell on the holiday weekend and they chose not to do it because sometimes people aren't watching TV, which at this point, especially because it's streaming, I can't say it makes sense to me because people are still watching it and
Mhm.
they could have like watched it on their own. It's not just on live TV, so I don't feel like they had to take a break. But like I kind of understand why they do. They did. They used to do that more so than they do now, which is I think why people got kind of upset. And also, this isn't just popular over here either. In in
Yeah.
other countries, it's not Memorial Day,
Yeah.
and Kaiser's right. It could have given people more time to watch it rather than them taking it off.
Oh, that's what I thought they had a break because they thought the holiday, but then people could catch up.
Yeah. And Just Me's right. Widow's Bay gave us 2 episodes during this time. So maybe they could have at least given us 2 when we came back. It would have been nice. To be fair though, like this was From is on a Sunday, which is a little different
Yeah.
than Widow's Bay being on in the middle of the week.
Mm.
I mean, I'm giving an excuse. That's not necessarily a good enough reason. I'm just saying it was on over the weekend as opposed to in the middle of the week. Like Widow's Bay. Let's see. Doc Green says, if Victor says the man in yellow came in the same way as everyone else, does that mean he's not the head man in charge of Fromville and there's some other entity above him in charge? I don't know. How do you feel about that? To me, that doesn't mean that personally, just because I think that he was just either it is
Yeah.
his real self, which I don't know, or he was pretending to be somebody who looked like the man in black, just like he did Sophia. So I think it was probably
Man in
more of a
yellow.
choice. So,
It said Men in Black.
or man in yellow. Sorry.
Fine.
Just like I say
But yeah,
island when
like you're saying, there could be two paths here. It could be that he came in and he was human and then became a monster, or he was human and then the man in yellow did a Sophia'd him, the entity Sophia'd him.
yeah. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
it could be, I mean, I feel like he might have been a Boyd, like a leader type, and then maybe became broken. If you break, maybe become a monster.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
there's an
there's a
entity
lot of
above him.
yeah, there's a lot of things that it could have been. I don't know. I mean, that's not to say that he is the one in charge. I mean, he could not be too. I'm just saying I don't think that him
Mm,
coming in looking like the man in yellow necessarily means there is or
yeah.
isn't somebody above him.
Yeah, Victor isn't very forthcoming of information about him, nor is Julie, or really anybody else.
Yeah, well, we know it's like it's hard to sometimes say things because we don't know. Because we're missing a lot of information.
Yeah. But I mean, seriously, if I saw a monster during the day story walking, I've been like, hey, everybody, there's monsters out during the day. Just so I let you
Yeah,
know.
no, I would too. I agree with you, but like I said before, they don't talk enough. Like they're finally starting to this season more so than they ever have, like
Mhm.
which I appreciate. But yeah, maybe they need to do it a little bit more than they are. They had a whole episode in the first season about people manifesting their nightmares, and now they act like they're just realizing it for the first time. That is a fair assessment. I would say Sarah said that, but not everybody heard it, and
Yeah.
I feel like this was more confirmation. Um, and yeah, B says they talked about it, but I don't think it felt real until this. I think this is more like this is what's, them confirming what happened more than anything. But there's a long conversation between Boyd and Jade here about them going down into the tunnels in order to try to get the bones of the children, which is where we left off last time. And basically, the idea is that Boyd thinks it's too dangerous, which Boyd tends to do. This is
Yes.
nothing new, but because he's always cautious. But I do like the fact that Jade kind of calls him out because he's like, we knew this was going to be something crazy, but like, why did you even have me do it if you weren't going to believe what I
Yeah.
saw anyway? So yes, I agreed with Jade in that point because a lot of this was like Boyd. I don't want to say Boyd was pushing him, but Boyd was on board with it. So like, why did they even take the time if they're not going to take anything he learned into account, right?
That's why it's frustrating. It's
Yeah,
been frustrating because this is the first scene where this stuff has happened.
yeah, yeah. And I also feel like, and maybe this has to do with the pacing. I feel like maybe they should have split the episodes different too, because this
Mm,
feels like a continuation of where they left off last time
mhm.
and still not really knowing anything or learning anything new because it is just kind of them discussing it, you know? Um,
I don't know,
yeah,
it feels kind of bookended for me. This episode starts with this and then ends with the wall, and I think that's a good book ending for it. I think it has a good start and a good finish.
true, true. It just, I think, because it's so long. I guess too, they're also maybe recapping it, but then again, I don't know if when they wrote it, I don't think they intended for there to be a break.
I
So
don't think
I don't know if you can really take that into account or not. Um, but yeah, Boyd's basically like, well, if this is what you think we should do, how are we going to do it? And I love that Jade's like, well, I figured you'd figure out the plan. He's like, he had no plan. That's Boyd's job, which I thought was funny. But he does talk about how in religious cultures and in history that the deceased, offer great reverence, and that if the town was built on a sacrifice, that could be what's keeping the spirits of the kids there, and that could be why they have to get rid of them, or not get rid of them, but let them free.
Mhm.
And he does question, like, do you ever wonder why they never come out of the tunnels in the day?
Mm,
So I guess by that comment, Jade's kind of saying like they're keeping watch over them to make sure nothing happens to them because they're important. I don't know. That part wasn't super clear.
yeah.
Um, he says they could be protecting the very thing that makes this town possible. So
Mhm.
yeah, I guess that's kind of what he's saying. Like they not come out at night because they're in there making sure we don't get to them, I guess. Although
Mhm.
I'm not sure why that would happen during the day and not during the night. I'm not sure why that would necessarily be different, but
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know.
It kinda connects up to the teeth as well, all this bones imagery, like something permanent that a person leaves behind.
Yeah. And that
Connected to their
also,
souls or not, I don't know, question mark.
yeah, big question mark. And the other thing is we also have, of course, the whole thing with Marielle. Like, is it just the kids? Is everybody in the town stuck there? And
Mhm.
like, even if they do like release the souls of the children or whatever, what about everybody else if that's the case? Like, do they have to do that for everybody? Do they have to dig up the bodies of every single person that ever died there? I don't, it's
Or does it releasing their souls just break a curse, but then they can't go back home, but nobody else comes back in?
that would be interesting. And I wonder how many of them would like willingly sacrifice that and like for nobody
Yeah.
else to get stuck in this. I feel like a lot of them would, not all of them,
Yeah, I
but I
remember
feel like
Kenny saying
a
something
lot
like that early on, like we're maybe not working for us, but the people after us, something along
yeah.
those lines.
Yeah, and I feel like most of the people there of the main characters would probably be okay with that if they knew everybody was safe. I mean, I don't know that they have a way of knowing that, but I'm just saying.
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like
I just want to bet on Donna, so hey.
no,
Yeah,
I am so glad that Donna is okay,
I
and
was so worried, but she pulled through.
yeah, I was too, and they kept making it seem like she was gonna die, and then they like twice um did like a fake out. She just better stay
Yeah.
okay. That's all, right?
I guess if she would have had a dream or saw her sister or something, I'd been like, oh, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, then we really gotta worry. Just me said I think all the bones of everyone are there, so they're all stuck there. I
Hmm.
don't yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's true. Everyone that's died
it could
has been buried there.
be. If Mario's right, it definitely could be the case. Lucas Hartley says the monsters don't do a good job guarding the caves because they never kill anyone who goes down there. Have they never killed anyone goes down there? Or I'm trying to think, or is this like more of an assumption? I feel like
There
this
was
is
that one body that was down there that Elgin had to move out of the way when Fatima was down there, but that was more in the root cellar, but it's kind of connected to the caves, right?
Yeah, that was in the root cellar more so
There
than
is
the
one
cave.
body down there.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just personally feel like that's an assumption that no, they didn't kill anybody down there. But also, maybe who knows? I mean, maybe they're like, if they were brave enough to go down there, they don't kill them. I don't know. Maybe they're like, it's not fun if they were that brave. you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Debbie. Yeah, I don't know. I do not have answers.
I found out a fun fact that there's 9 cats on Jade's shirt, like 9 lives.
Oh, interesting. You know what would be scary though if they start changing during the show. So pay
Just
attention.
like us, only 8.
Make sure it stays 9, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. It's funny when they wear, you wonder, like, obviously they don't wear the same. I mean, they wear clothes that look the same, but obviously, like as actors, there's multiple versions of the same
Yeah.
clothes. But it's kind of gotta suck, I feel like, as an actor to have like really awesome costumes and be like, I have to wear the same damn costume every day, you know?
Disco
I mean,
shirt and the cat t-shirt.
yeah, but that's what's funny because like they had the whole conversation about them doing the laundry. So why do they continue to wear the same clothes every day? Am I the only
They
one
had
that's
that
in?
whole room. Donna said there was a whole room at Colony House full of stuff.
Yeah, so why do they keep wearing? Look, not all of them do. I mean, I noticed like Julie changes. Maybe it's because she's a teenager. I don't know. But like
Yeah.
Boyd has been wearing that damn yellow shirt. It's had blood on it. It's been clean.
That's
It's had blood on it
symbolic.
again. It's still the same.
Symbolic.
Yeah, yes, it's symbolic, but there are more than one kind of yellow shirt, right? Like, can't they give them a yellow t-shirt if they wanted to wear yellow? Just change it up a bit. That's all I'm saying.
And his name means Jello, so there you go.
No, Kate Tashby agrees with you. It's not lost on me. They're both wearing yellow. They are both wearing yellow. Jade doesn't often. I don't know. Does he often wear yellow? I feel like he
Well, he has
doesn't.
a disco shirt. He wears a disco shirt all the time. The one with the little flex in it that we call the disco shirt. Probably because of the collar.
I don't know. I notice more the cat shirt than I do anything else. And yes, Petty, I agree. I notice yellow now more than anything. I'm noticing the yellow, not so much what they're wearing. I just know Boyd always has on that damn shirt though. Didn't Rick Grimes wear the same boots for like every season? Probably just me, but he also wasn't in a community the whole time where they have a room full of clothes and they're washing them. Although boots, I guess shoes you don't really wash like that the same.
Yeah.
But they're
It's good to
sharing.
have more. It's good to have more than one pair, though, just for
Yeah, it is. But
airing it out sake.
yes, that too. But I mean, at least here they talk about sharing stuff as opposed to like The Walking Dead. They never do that. I think everybody just kind of keeps the clothes on their back. They probably stink really bad. Yeah, you know what? I don't think that now that I'm looking at this, I don't think this shirt's actually yellow. I think this shirt's more like
It's kind of like a beige.
Yeah, I think it's the lighting in
Yeah,
this.
it's that because look at the lighting. Look how iodine the lighting looks like behind him.
I like that iodine.
Well, that's what they call them. They call them iodine lights.
I've never heard that. That's interesting. But yeah, I think yeah, I don't think it's actually yellow. I think it's more of like a beige. Yeah. He also had the same pair of jeans with a bullet hole. They need to change seriously. All right. So they do say that, or Jade does say that the monsters could be protecting the bones so they don't go down there during the day. But again, why they would during the day and not during the night, I don't know. But he does say he expected Boyd to come up with the plan anyway. And I like I said, I get that Jade's like, you wanted me to do this. If you weren't going to listen, why? But I also get Boyd's point of view. He's kind of what he's telling him to do does sound like a suicide mission, and it was from his hallucinations. It's kind of hard to know what to what to believe. But Jade does say, I've never been in the basement of Colony House, which I guess we're taking his word for it. But
I've never seen him. Have you?
No, I didn't either. But I mean, Boyd doesn't question it, so I guess he just believes that. But he makes a good point. Like, I've never been down there. I've never seen this stuff. So if there is this secret door that I told you about, does that prove anything? And Boyd's like, yeah, sure. And I feel like it more proves it because it wasn't there and then they found it and like revealed it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
otherwise it could have just been somebody mentioned it and he didn't realize it, or he was down there and forgot. I mean, there's like a myriad of things that he could have, happened to know about it, not even realizing it, like not doing it on purpose, but subconsciously. But the fact that the door was, well, they're not exactly bricks, rocked over,
Yeah.
I think that actually makes it mean more,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
And plus it gives Boyd character development that he's listening,
Yeah, yeah.
instead
But
of just
also
going
it
off.
was pretty fun though too to watch him smash the wall. I mean, that was a good
Yeah,
scene.
yeah, I do. Yeah, it was kind of akin to the Donna thing where like you die when I say you die.
Yeah, he has a lot of, yelling and swearing in this episode, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, why don't they just plan to go at night? The monsters leave the tunnels at night. Okay, that's a good point. I'm thinking,
Unless they have a monster that stays there. I never see all of them together.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with both of you. I don't know if we see them all at once. My other question is too, because we just had that other comment earlier. We haven't actually seen them kill somebody in the tunnels during the day. So I've also kind of wondered at times, and I don't know. I've just randomly wondered sometimes if they can't kill them during the day. Like maybe it's not that they can't go out during the day. Maybe they just can't kill them, so they choose not to for whatever reason. Um, because yeah, I would assume that it might be harder to run away from them at night, even in the tunnels. I don't know. But yes, if they're all outside, it does kind of seem like maybe that would be a good plan too. But these people don't tell each other what they know, so
They
the
just have
plan.
to they had to do something like almost like a comedy thing where they just dress up like the monsters and go down there, pretend they're monsters.
Oh, you don't watch Walking Dead. I was gonna say almost like with Walking Dead when they cover themselves in blood and then they walk among
Oh, okay.
among the dead.
I meant disguise himself like a milkman, and like Boyd disguises himself like that professor or whatever. And they go down there.
I kind of like that though. I wonder, you say that though. I want to know like if anybody dresses up as like these monsters for Halloween, because it'd be so funny and you would like no most people probably wouldn't know what the hell you're dressed up like, but it would be funny, I
It'd
think.
be more cool to dress up like this. It'd be easier to dress up like Jade, especially you're like a dude. You just let your beard grow and then get the cat shirt.
Yeah, that looks less like a costume though than at least like a milkman or something. But yeah, you're right.
It'd be cool to
Speaking
just dress up like them, just to be like kind of more, just smiling and while you're walking around.
Yeah, if I see anybody outside smiling like that and on Halloween, I'm gonna A, probably freak out, and then B, be like, can I take your picture? No,
Just dressed up like a librarian or
yeah,
a
no,
waitress.
I was gonna say though, that reminds me. I know that I met up with just me this weekend. We saw somebody who knew
Yeah,
about we talked to somebody who apparently liked From, so that was kind of funny. Like you never know who you're gonna meet, right? Like could
yeah.
be anywhere.
We'll have to talk about
Um,
that later. I'm interested in your guys' meetup.
yeah. Um, I didn't notice the pants, but I did see an interview about his boots. Boyd, you mean? Or you mean for
No, The
Walking Dead?
Walking Dead, I think.
For Walking Dead, okay. Lucas says monsters usually seem to be sleeping during the day, active at night. That's true too, and probably why they tend to go during the day. I I know, just me. Hey Dieter, welcome.
What
Yes,
was it
sorry, go ahead.
weren't Victor and Tabby in the caves during the day? And they were sleeping down there, like the cheerleader monster was sleeping down there, and she was like, Victor, Victor, and I'm like, no, 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 no. And
Yes, yes, that was when they were down there, and the time the monster talked to Victor, though, I think was a separate instance,
yeah,
maybe. But yes, they were down there and they
good
were
time.
sleeping.
Yeah.
But yes, Nicole, if you're watching this, talk to us. I don't know. It's just funny because usually when you say From, like nobody knows what you're talking about, although it's getting more popular. But it's nice to find people that do. I'll dress like Jade and write Ankui on my forehead.
Yeah, when I first started watching this the first season, I only knew of What Is From Cast was the only podcast I knew of, and I couldn't really find anybody else who watched it.
Yeah, you have to I have to look. Look, I never really even knew people. I mean, I knew people did live streams, obviously, because like I said before, we had our regular review show, but I
Yeah.
didn't know that there was so many and that people. I didn't know like what a deep dive is. I never like knew that people did what we were doing now
Yeah.
until I met you guys and started finding out about this and going down these rabbit holes. I'm enjoying it, but learning a whole new culture there. All right, so
What's to the left of Jade in that picture?
what?
Is it just it's just a piece of paper on the wall? That thing on the left. What is
On the
that?
left,
Yeah.
it's a clip hold on, I'll go over it. It's a clipboard with
Oh, okay.
something on it. Yeah,
It
it's
almost
just a
looked like a
clipboard.
drawing or something, but it must have been shadows playing with my vision.
It looks like it could be like a watermark on the paper. Like, you know how
Yeah.
some paper is like stationary? I don't know, but that's what I would say it kind of looks like.
Yeah.
There's some odd things around in the set. That's for sure. But yeah, they're gonna go try to look for the door is the idea. And they're drinking the
So is
last
is it night
coffee.
right now here? I got confused because I didn't know if it was nighttime or daytime, but it looked like nighttime. But then they kind of made a mention of the timeline that didn't make sense.
You know, looking and granted, sometimes like these shots, they end up so dark just because it's filmed like that, it's hard to tell. But to
Yeah.
me, looking out that window right now, it looks like it's night, but I
Yeah.
have to assume it's not, or
Mhm.
they jumped to daytime and didn't tell us because they can't go
Yeah.
from the police station over to Colony House in the night. So
Yeah, because Sophie said something. Sophia said something about that in the timeline that it hadn't been, kind of hadn't been night yet, and I'm like, wait a second, this looks like nighttime, and I'm confused.
yeah, well, some of these, like I said, some of these pictures come out so dark it's hard to tell, and it's just the
Yeah,
way they
that suit's still there.
yeah, I think it's partially like because it's, you know, the way it's filmed or whatever, it ends up looking dark.
They
When
gotta
you're
move that
inside.
suit.
What, the suit? Yep, it's still
They gotta
there.
burn that
Look,
thing,
it has to be there when Sophia walks in later, right? I mean, didn't you see her looking
of
at it? She
course.
was like, "Mm, all
You
right."
would think that Julie would walk in there, but no.
Of course not. That would be too easy, Scarlett.
I
That'd
like the fact that they mentioned Egypt like twice within a minute. So am I supposed to take notice of mummification in Egypt and now the pyramids of Egypt?
what was the other thing with Egypt?
Because Jade was talking about the Egyptians mummified their bodies
Oh, did
because
he
the
give that
bodies were important.
example? Okay, I couldn't remember if he gave the
Trying to
example. I don't
convince
I don't
Boyd that the bones were important because, you know,
Right, right. No,
social
I didn't
significance to
have
preserve the body.
yeah, I just didn't have it written down. That's why I didn't remember it.
But then she's
I
looking at Egypt here, and I'm like, am I supposed to take notice? There's
well,
something.
didn't weren't one of the folk stories from Fatima told, weren't one of them sort of Egyptian too, or am I wrong? I could be wrong.
Well, she is from the area of the Middle East, so there's a
Yeah,
lot of could be
yeah.
that.
I don't lots of stuff from Egypt, but well, I don't know. I mean, we do
When
see
they found
the
these pyramids.
I'm also thinking of the fact that we found like when they've gone when Victor was down in the caves, like they keep I guess it's not really the same thing. I was gonna say have people's clothes and stuff down there. Maybe the cave is like a tomb. I don't know. You're just making me go down that route, but I don't think that
Yeah.
was
I just
um
pay attention when there's two things about the same thing, like really close to succession like this. I always kind of take notice of it.
yes, definitely. No, I agree.
Unless it's
And
just
thank
trying to reference that and the fact that Acosta really hasn't done anything the whole time she's down there. Really, I mean, I guess she's been putting stuff there. It looks like there's some order to the objects, but
yes, she's done it. She's done some stuff. We just don't get to see it. Yes, thanks, Jen. Please, everybody, make sure you do hit the like on the video. I know a lot of times we don't, it seems like people forget to hit it. I was gonna say we have how many? I'm looking to see. Not in whoa. I guess people aren't liking this for some reason. Because we have almost half as many likes as dislikes.
oh, great.
I don't know if those are particular people or you guys aren't enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. But yeah,
It's probably
please.
a smear campaign. Don't worry about it.
Probably. No, but hey,
What's
like
the
I
first
always
thing
say,
that
it still
Acosta
helps.
looks at before this one?
You know, this was the one that popped up when I went through it. I didn't go frame by frame, so I'm not entirely sure if there was something else. Do you remember there being something else?
It looked like a house or something. I wasn't sure. I was trying to equate it to the other thing.
Yeah, let me see really quick if I can. I don't know. This was like the first thing that popped up, but like I said, I didn't go frame by absolute frame. Hold on, I found it in the screen. I'll let you know if there's something before that. There is. It is a mountain with a lake, maybe the Lake of Tears, maybe. It'll
Interesting.
pop up. Hold on, it should update in a second, and then I can show you. Come on, update the picture, you stupid thing. Oh, you can see how fast it is.
Yeah.
Let me try hitting refresh. Maybe that'll help. There it is. That was the first picture.
Oh. Yeah,
Which now that you said
Alpine.
that, yeah, but maybe that's the Lake of Tears, right? I mean, that would make sense.
Has those yellow flowers too. It looks a lot like the area that they're in because it have all those yellow flowers and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're totally right. I don't know if that has significance, but I could see maybe it did, and that would be cool.
Did you ever have a Viewmaster when you were a kid?
I think I actually might have had like a newer version of one, but I know that my mom had one of the original ones because I remember looking at them, but I vaguely think I might have had one myself. The more I was thinking about it, but yeah, I take it you had a Viewmaster too then.
Yeah, and I mean, I also have one that's kind of like one you sit on your nose. There's books out where they have three-dimensional pictures, like they have two side by side, and then you put the glasses on your nose and you can see them in depth. A lot of Victorian, like daguerreotypes and stuff like that. Pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
Cool. No, I always thought it was cool because it's almost like how they used to have, slides, like a slide projector. They stopped doing. I mean, now everything's digital.
And it often was things like this, like different locales or factual information about different places or national parks or what have you. I mean, as well as like, probably like your Care Bears, your like Spider-Man,
Yeah, I know. Petty says had Spider-Man. I was trying to think. I don't remember. I think mine might have been more like this. It was just some kind of like location. I don't remember anything particular. I just remember using it. Um, but I do like this, and I'm using my version that I put for my recap. So I cut out some of the quotes, but excuse me, she says something like, why was this fun back then? And he said something about, do you remember what she said?
We didn't have phones, which confused the crap out of me because I was like, Boyd, you did have a phone. But I remember, then I thought, okay, it's cell phones because it was like a phone. I was like, Boyd's not that old. He did have a phone, right?
Yeah, I think he meant, I definitely think he meant cell phone, not regular phone. That's right. But she says something like social media from the 90s or something like that, doesn't she?
From the Stone Age.
From the Stone Age. Okay. Yeah, social media. It's like social media from the Stone Age. This is also when Jade starts asking like what they're doing down there because Boyd tells them that he wants to build a narrative who came before them, see if they missed anything. And this is when Acosta says Boyd's just trying to keep me busy because he knows I want to kill myself. And he's like, how's that going? And she's like, I haven't slit my wrist yet. And he's like, so it's going well. Yep. That's when they have sarcasm like that. Like it's kind of dark though, right? Like her talking like that. It is, but it is gallows humor. No, you're right. It is gallows humor, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's also a little more serious and like they're making a joke out of it. So I kind of feel bad for her, but I also thought it was kind of funny. So I don't know.
It's good to see her though. I'm just happy to see her.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. No, I agree. I'm happy for that too. Let's see. Jen said it's pretty like the Yellow Jackets lake. Like that nothing bad could happen there.
Yeah, nothing bad could happen
there. Happened on Yellow Jackets, right? Viewmasters were basically in 3D. That was kind of the way to see, I guess, see it in 3D. They had the two. You're using, both your eyes to get the depth. All right. Well, she asked what they want, and Jade's like, we're looking for a secret door that I found when I was on mushrooms high in the forest. And people have strange conversations. Like Costa's always on the outside of it, right? I feel like. Before Acosta, she's been kind of gone and doesn't know what's.
I hope she finds a clue soon. I feel like she's going to find a clue. Hopefully, it won't be like in episode 10.
Yes. Yeah, we need something, right? Like there's got to be a reason they're going through that shit. They got to find something.
I hope it isn't at the end of 10 and she finds some old picture of Sophia and she's like, a clue, and then it ends.
That would really suck. That's all I gotta say. That would really suck. That's my answer.
I know who the man in yellow is. Then it's the end.
Dun dun dun. No, maybe it's like a Scooby-Doo thing. They're gonna unmask somebody. Let's see. We saw Disney stills. Yeah, I think maybe now that you said that, maybe I did have something Disney, but I'm honestly not sure. So anyway, they're gonna look for the door, and Jade is excited when he sees, I'm going too slow, all the suitcases and everything there. I don't know, they're suitcases, whatever they are, cases, different shit over there, because it's like what he saw in his hallucination. So they do start yanking it down. Unfortunately, I love though, like they do make you wait to see, right? Like they use it as a reveal, but all there is a wall. So
yeah, they did kind of set it up, didn't they? Because all that stuff was filed up there.
They did. Let's Rig Bop says, anyone who said the last episode was bad needs to rewatch it. We got some seriously critical information. I'm with you. I liked it. Like I said, I know it wasn't a lot of action, but I liked it. But I'm also not always the person to go by because I do binge it. So I think sometimes I look at it a little different because I saw them all together. So what was I going to say? I totally lost track of what I was going to. Oh, why do you, I know I was going to say, why do you, and why do the people in the chat, why do you think that this door was walled off? Like there's got to be a reason, right?
Yeah, there might be something evil behind that door.
I don't know.
You know, maybe there's something, because sometimes I think when Jade needs to release he wants to go get the bones and release the souls, that might be step one to something and not a finish.
Yeah. True.
And maybe somebody tried this, maybe Christopher, maybe somebody else, and failed, and somebody walled it up because it was not good.
Yeah. We got to think though that it's got to go into what, the root cellar first, then into the caves, because I'm going to assume what he saw in his vision was accurate, since we know there's a door there. Because he went through kind of that hallway, I guess you call it, of the what we call the root cellar before he actually got to the caves. So this root cellar and these hallways, again, whatever you want to call it, I'm assuming they kind of run under everything, right? Because it's under the church. We know it's in the area where Fatima is, and somehow they all kind of connect to the caves or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes me wonder, and it also kind of makes me scared because that to me means that the monsters are underneath them, right? So somehow I guess the talismans aren't, like, if I know some people say the talismans don't work and it's all they pretend they do, and I know that's a theory. But assuming they do really work, it must be more of like, trying to think of the right way to say it, like more like a mental thing, because it's not like a physical barrier, because why otherwise couldn't they come up from below? Like it's got to be, does that make sense what I'm saying? Like they don't put them on the floors, but that's also the same thing, like they only put it on the front door or whatever. They don't put the talisman everywhere. So I don't know.
Well, I hope there's some. I'm
sorry. No, I just started reading it. You started talking. I'm like,
well, I was collecting a thought to talk about what you just like.
No, go ahead. Oh.
Like I feel like the talismans. See, you saying stuff about talismans. It goes in my brain. It like rolls around for a while, and this comes out. That the talismans themselves. I hope we get a scene, because they had the colonial woman and the cast listing and everything, that they were going to get an older. I want to see how those were made. I want to see if there's something that would show us the rules of it and how they made them.
Yes, I totally 100% agree.
Like we need a little bit more rule structure to feel, for me to feel like better about From and them getting out. We need a little bit of a rule structure.
Yes, I agree. I've said before that because I was talking about this the other day, like how for Widow's Bay, we got that flashback episode, and I said I kind of don't want that for From, because there's not a lot of episodes left. But
I love Smiley in the Pilgrim hat. It's my dream. It's my dream.
No, I was gonna say I say that, but then part of me does. Like I feel like we don't need like a flashback explaining how the town was cursed because we know that. But I feel like if there are other things in a flashback, like you're saying, like how did the talisman come to be? How were the rules found? Even if it's just people testing it and and dying,
Yeah.
something like that I could be down with. But Catastrophe said that the answers are underground. Maybe.
Mm.
Well, definitely the caves are underground. I don't know about answers, but I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, Bill says, yep, they're underneath them. And Jade is the anomaly. The other ones weren't smart. Yes, it seems like the other incarnations were not apparently as smart as Jade. At least that's what we're being led to believe anyway. Um, but yeah, either way, they hid the door. So my question is, if they hid the door, like, is unearthing the door a bad thing? Would be my biggest question. Like it was that wall might be there for a reason, guys.
I mean, I'm sure we'll find out this later.
Yeah.
What's behind it?
Yeah. Thank you,
Thanks.
Jen. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Sarah and Julie are crap painters.
Yeah, that's why
Well,
Julie has to do her main job, which is story walking, not
yes,
painting.
I agree. We want Julie to story walk, not paint. No, I
I like that
appreciate it.
they're painting a heliotrope too, which made me think of Yellow Jackets.
Yeah. Thank
Making
you.
her
I don't know.
bedroom a cult bedroom. There's going to be a cult.
Yeah. Let's see. I believe the Lake of Tears is actually a fountain with a crying angel statue somewhere underground.
Mm,
Ooh, that could be interesting.
that'd
That
be
could be
cool.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I do, like I said, I do appreciate at least that the walls are purple. I like that. Not that that means anything, but I like that. All right. So Jade and him are still arguing. And yeah, Boyd is not happy at all because he found, he think that he would have, I guess, appreciated the door that they found it. He said that that would make him maybe listen, but um it doesn't really. He just gets mad again and he's like, it's too dangerous, right? He's because Jade does make the point of saying maybe the door is a metaphor. I'm curious though why he said that. Oh wait, they didn't find the door yet. That's right. They found the wall. Forget I said that. Jade says maybe the door is a metaphor, and that's when
Mm-hmm.
Boyd says maybe the bones are too. I feel like Jade saying that was kind of like, why would you say that when Boyd's already not believing you, right?
Yeah, it's getting rubbed up.
You're giving him ideas there. But no, yeah, I mean, the idea is that it's risky. I get both sides of it. I feel like I don't know. Are you Team Jade or Team Boyd here? Because I get Boyd's like, this is too dangerous. Why is it okay for any amount of people to die?
Mm-hmm.
But Jade's like, yeah, but we'll never get home if we don't try, and they're gonna die
Mm-hmm.
anyway. It's kind of what he says. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's they should
Probably
try
a
or
little
no?
bit more probably a little bit more on Team Jade's side, just because Boyd seemed to be there the whole time Jade was doing the mushrooms. He was going to find an answer. Now they got to go, be thorough with the answer. And he didn't let Kenny burn up the caves, and that was another plan that he was like, "Don't do that." And I
Yeah,
mean, they got to choose a plan. They got to choose a treacher, a pathway.
yeah. No, they do. But that's why though I kind of part of me is like, but you know what? Boyd has kept the majority of the people safe by being too hesitant. But I guess it comes down to, are you willing to live like that is the other question. Like
Yeah,
maybe they should have a town meeting and be like, okay, do you think it's worth the risk? Not that they'll do that, but they should maybe.
mm-hmm.
Because I feel like a lot of people will be like, yeah, it's better than living in this fear all the time. At least that's how I would feel anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Let's see. Bop has a point. Maybe crushed past Jade could be in the tunnel. I didn't think about that. He's in the root cellar, but if it's connected to the tunnel, I guess it could have been like maybe during that they went into the tunnel and the,
is he permanently in there, or is that this hallucination that Jade had?
oh, it was a hallucination. That's true. Yeah, I don't know. Um,
I
that
mean, are
was
the
a halluc-
bodies of these past Jades somewhere that they can find?
They've got to be somewhere, but I feel like they would be bones, right?
Yeah.
He's like, they could be walled up. They could be. But this also makes me question, do you remember when they found that body, not found, but when they showed that body in the root cellar that Elgin moved? Remember we did
Yeah.
a whole dive on that, and I remember, like, it had a blue and white shirt that looked similar to Jade's. It wasn't exact, but it was
Yeah.
similar. And
Mhm.
I'm thinking about it now, and I'm thinking that actually totally makes sense, regardless of whether it was in the tunnels or it was moved or it was somewhere else. We know that there's other versions of Jade that died, that was
Yeah.
murdered, whatever. It actually
Mhm.
kinda makes sense that it was down there,
Yeah.
that they find,
It could
their
be
his
Christopher. There's theories it's Christopher's body.
hmm, maybe. I don't remember how decayed it was. I don't know if that would make a huge difference, but,
Yeah.
let's see. Bob says, "Talisman only work because Boyd believes they do. Boyd's faith creates new roles in the game." Excuse me, in my opinion. I mean, we kinda talked about this earlier, if they can will good things into being. I
Mhm.
guess that's the question, but I never really thought about that. Yeah, maybe the talisman are only real because they say they are. But it also goes back to, like you said, we need more rules, like, to
Yeah.
know what they can and what they can't do. AlphaFold says, "I wish Acosta finds out a wardrobe in the basement like Narnia movies towards the finale, but the nightmare follows them in the real world." That could be kind of cool, though. I kind of like that idea. I don't know that it's going to happen, but I kind of like that idea. That'd be
Yeah, yeah.
crazy. That'd be
Mhm.
crazy. All right, I am taking way too long to get through one scene. Sorry.
Well, that's fine.
Um,
You got time.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, Boyd
This
is
this
getting
kinda escalated quickly.
it did. As much as I say I kind of agree with some of what Boyd said, and I can understand it, I think he got way too mad. Like
Mhm.
he is like he's breaking. We've said that before, but I mean he's
Mhm.
totally he got way too violent, way too fast, in my opinion. He had no
Mhm.
reason to get that mad. Jade's only trying to help. Whether Jade's right or not, Jade is trying to help.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I kind of wanted Kenny to say something to him, like,
Yeah,
what
I
is
didn't
up?
know why Kenny didn't say anything, and then there's some people that walk right into the room after, like, they've been kinda waiting for it to stop instead of, like, interacting with it.
Yeah, I know. There was another random woman in there. I forgot to try to get a
Yeah,
picture,
there's
but I
2 people
remember.
that walked in, yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Why did" everybody hears this, right? I mean, the walls of Kelly House probably aren't that thick.
Well, then again, they're in Colony House. They might be busy doing other things. Who knows?
Yeah.
They're busy getting high and whatever else.
Working.
Um, okay, let's see. Breaking Boyd. The show needed Boyd to overreact to explain the return of Ghost Khatri.
Mhm.
Maybe that's a good point. I feel that like that's another one of the questions. Like I wish we had like a blanket answer to. Like, is that Khatri? Is that his conscious? Is that something else? I don't think it's anything we're going to get an answer to anytime soon, but it's one of those things where it's like we don't even know if we can trust it, you know? So,
Yeah.
kind of hard to tell. What the heck is that? I just now noticed that machine. What is that?
It's the soda machine. They had that Creamon's Cola or whatever, that's, very popular.
It's a soda machine. Oh,
It's
I
bottles,
never.
like a glass bottle soda machine.
Oh, okay. I just never noticed it there before.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah.
like, oh, interesting.
Because
Yeah.
they had that Creamon's Cola and everybody, like, deep dived on that forever.
Yeah. No, you must have done that on the other show because I did not. I do not remember anything about that, unless that's
It
that
it
one
wa
thing
it
out.
was just general theorizing because people were looking at the brand and, like, like, they match it up with things in history, names in history,
Yeah.
significance.
Interesting. It's interesting though that it's like in the middle of the house. Like, why not move it outside, right? But I guess it's a plant.
Well,
A
they have
plant.
2 fridges too, which is interesting, but I guess they have a lot of people in there, a lot of people to feed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't think it might be cold. I guess I don't know. Yeah, I guess it would have to be cold, but you'd have to probably keep filling it with ice or something. I
Yeah.
also question
I don't
like,
know
do
if
they
they
have?
use it, I don't know if it works.
Yeah. Well, because you'd have to have like keys to open it and stuff. I would think. So I don't know. All right. So he goes out with Kenny, and this is where they have a little bit of a conversation. Now, I did want to ask you how you felt about this because I I don't know that they should have skipped this conversation. It's very clear from what Kenny says that Boyd, at some point during this conversation, tells him about the reincarnation because Kenny makes a comment about it.
Mhm,
And it was definitely a way to let us know that.
mhm.
But I kind of like, we don't get enough of them talking to each other. I kind of hate that they cut it. I feel like if they were gonna cut a conversation that was like that, I would have rather them later cut part of like Tabitha talking about the nightmares because we heard that last episode and we already
Mhm.
know that, where this was like a new conversation. I don't know. Do you feel like that or did it not bother you?
I kind of like thought the point of this thing too was to have Kenny make Boyd laugh a little bit so he got more stabilized.
Yeah,
Because he
I didn't
talks
think
to say, "Oh, remember when I said that one thing?" And Boyd kind of cracks a smile a little bit, and I'm thinking that Kenny's just like, easing him back down to a good level.
yeah. It is kind of though was a little dark though to me because he
Yeah,
says something like, "Do you remember when the worst thing, the good old days when we used to count the
yeah.
nights nothing bad would happen?" And I was thinking, you do realize the last person that was murdered other than Jim was like your mother. And I'm thinking, at least I think so,
Well,
wasn't it?
sometimes you gotta think and celebrate good times. Come on.
I guess so. Um, but yeah, that's what that is about. And also he's kind of like apologizing. Oh, I didn't, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. But they talk a little bit about what Jade said. And Kenny asked him, and maybe this is the point too to make Boyd think it through because Kenny says, like, do you believe it? And he's like, well, if all this other shit hadn't happened, I would have said no, but now I don't know what to say. Um, so yeah. But at least we do get some information sharing that we get to actually see, which is that Kenny shows him the drawing of Miranda being eaten. And now Boyd is in on that story. Again, Julie could have even just seen a drawing. It would help, right? That would be
Yeah.
enough, in
Or
my
walk
opinion.
into that office and see that suit, or just like say,
Yeah.
walk into the office and be like, "Hey, there's a monster out during the well, that's a suit."
Yeah. It doesn't need anything more than that. I
Yeah.
agree. We got some differing opinions here. Petty says Jade was out of line.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, he was. I just think Boyd got a little too.
I think
A little,
anytime he gets sensitive towards, especially like Abby's death, it kind
yeah.
of brings up probably his like insecurities, you know,
Mhm.
of what he
Yeah.
could have done. You
Yeah.
know,
And he didn't do exactly. Lucas says there's a few times this episode when Kenny just stood there quietly with nothing to say. I feel like that's been this season. They have not given Kenny enough to do. Period. Um, okay, let's see. Can he trust Boyd? That's all we need to know. That's about Donna. I'm gonna table that comment about Donna.
the Donnas, yeah.
Yeah, because we can get when we get there. Um, let's see. Jay says before Jim. Oh, Tilly. Okay, there was Tilly and Nikki. You're right. I forgot about Tilly and Nikki.
Oh,
A lot of people do. Sorry, that was
I
bad.
guess they just buried him up back without hardly any ceremony.
No, you're right. I did forget about Tilly and Nikki, but I guess they were to me a little less important than Kenny's mom.
Oh, I
So I
thought you were
forgot.
just bringing it up because that would mean something to him, more than Tilly and Nikki's death would be his mom.
Yeah, but I was thinking that was the last death since Jim. I guess it was the last big death. Like Tilly also wasn't a monster. Tilly was Fatima, so it was a little different. Well, Nikki wasn't a monster either. Nikki was killed by Acosta. So I go back to what I said. I feel like his mother was the last big monster death, um,
Mm.
other than Jim. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So anyway, they look up. Victor is on the roof, and they try to talk to him. And so Victor has a story about a guy that he knew that hated the place so much that he decided to jump, which is kind of interesting because we have multiple stories about people unaliving themselves since Acosta was there earlier talking. But he talks about how he jumped and it took him days for the guy to die, that he just made things worse. So yeah, jumping off a roof is probably not the best way because that's not a very high building.
Mm.
But yeah, so the person that did it
Yeah,
suffered,
Ellis jumped off of that pretty high up too and broke his leg.
and all he did was broke his leg. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but if you could just broke enough of your body and then just died horribly over 2 days.
yeah. Well, they didn't have Christy then either, so maybe that
Yeah.
made a difference. But either way, in all seriousness, though, I mean, that part isn't funny that somebody was so scared all the time they just decided they were going to stop. But it made it worse for them. And it's actually, I think, a really, like I said, it's a dark thing there that he saw. But I also kind of feel like it was also Victor saying, like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, why would I do that, right? Because I think
Yeah.
Boyd's kind of scared because he's on the roof, and Victor's kind of like, no, that's awful. I don't know that he meant it that way, but I think it showed that he had no intention of that. Um, but Boyd asks him about the man in the suit, if there's anything else he can remember, and he does say that he'll try. So they take him back in the house so they can talk. And the three of them go in, but we don't see that yet because first we go to Julie and Sarah. And this is where Julie says that she understands how Sarah felt and she's sorry that she did that to her. And Sarah basically just says her brother had said that fresh coat of paint will fix all your woes.
That
And
seems
that,
weird.
yeah, that is kind of a strange line, right?
I was trying to explain that to my boyfriend because I was like, Nathan's kind of a weird character, and he's like, is that a euphemism? And I'm like, no, I don't think it is.
No, no, I think that was the girl. But yeah, she wants to paint Sophia's room to do something nice for her.
But she doesn't even know what color it is.
It could be orange, who knows?
Could be
But
Sophia's least favorite color. It could be yellow.
Oh god, it's kind of funny that it wasn't yellow though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Actually, purple is like the opposite of yellow on the car wheel, so
I thought it was opposite of green, but it's close.
Isn't it? Maybe it is. I thought it was the opposite of yellow.
Well, the compound colors of like purple, green, and orange.
Yeah.
Well, that's a really big purple shirt she's got on, so I'm like looking at purple as symbol of something.
It's something, yeah. I have a little bit of a problem with this though, with this scene and with what Julie says. Because Julie's like, I'm sorry that I said the kind of things I said, that I understand how you felt. I'm not sure that people ostracizing her because she killed her brother and tried to kill Ethan is in any way the same thing as Julie feeling like Randall doesn't believe her.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of have a problem with her. Like, I get what she's saying.
Her reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, I get what she's saying. She's like, nobody believed you, just like nobody believes me, is kind of, I guess, the connection there. But to me, it's nowhere near the same thing. And
yeah, Julie hasn't been ostracized for what she's done.
Yeah, so this scene to me didn't work as well for that reason. That being said, I do really like the scenes of the two of them in this episode.
Yeah, I think the actresses are great together. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. We don't very much see it, so I did appreciate that, and at least we got something with Julie, even if it wasn't very much.
And so like Sarah, even though there wasn't very much of Sarah either.
Same thing. I was like, girl, no, especially because he tried to kill your little brother. That's it is not. I agree with you.
He's like, grab a brush and help me paint, okay?
Yeah, come help me paint the room.
How many people have you killed?
Lucas says Kenny can barely end the season. I want to hear more from him. I don't understand why Kenny hasn't been. And I think I notice it more because of that whole thing he did on Instagram, like where he was upset. And I know it wasn't real, but where he was upset because he wasn't in the trailer. And yeah, he's not been in enough, man. Put more Kenny in. That's all I got to say is put more Kenny in. I feel like the town and the creators completely forgot about Tilly. I agree with you 100%.
Except for Kenny talking about questioning people about her death. That was about it.
Yeah, but that ended really quick, and then they never really went back to it. So, all right.
Well, so it's because Fatima doesn't want to be found out, so we're just going to brush that under the rug.
Yeah, but I feel like at some point it's got to come back, right? Because otherwise, that's sloppy. If they don't, I feel like that's a sloppy loose end because that's important. So they talk to Victor to find out more. Victor just says that he thought the suit was funny and that he seemed like a nice man. Boyd asked if he came alone. He says he thinks so. I'm not sure if that's significant unless he came with someone like how Sophia didn't really come with, that's the only thing I can connect that with. And they ask him about what kind of car, and he just says it was big and brown. And yes, he took it into the woods because he didn't want to see it. but he does not want to talk about it. I did really appreciate in this scene that Boyd's like, I'm not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do. Because usually Boyd pushes and like poor Victor, right? Like, I think that him saying he wasn't going to push him is probably the best thing he could have done because he might help them later. But yeah, I appreciated that he knows that Victor can't just be, made to do it. So I did appreciate that. All right. So we also see some drawings here. Hey, RC0, I still know how to say that. I do want to point out some of the drawings here. There are some more, first of all, some more toy cars. I don't know if there's any point to them. It looks like a sheriff's vehicle, maybe a dump truck. I don't know.
There a plate with a house on it? Is that Colony's house and a plate?
Yeah, it's Colony's house. Somebody was asking, I saw it, I think it was on Facebook, like what the black was. What does that mean? And I
thought
don't.
It was a plate.
No, I think it is. I think it might be, but it looks like it's got black painted all around the edge.
Oh.
So I'm not sure what it is, but it looks ominous. There's also a fire back here in the background. And then we also see a Lake of Tears picture. Now, there's this other picture I thought was the Lake of Tears picture. Now I'm noticing it isn't. And they show it better later. It looks like drops of blood, like it's like red droplets. And it makes me what that's about because it makes me think of the whole thing with Sophia in this episode, right? Like with the blood and the glass and everything. I don't know that that's what it has anything to do with, but it did make me think of that. Let's see. Jay says history repeats itself and from race alcoholism is going to get Victor killed like Frank did to Megan, especially since last season they made a big deal about Henry protecting Victor. Maybe. All right. So yeah, he says he doesn't have to tell. And then
there was another picture too that looked like a person, but I don't think you have a still of it.
No, they were talking about that earlier in the watch party, but there's a better picture, I guess, in one of the other episodes, but we didn't know what episode it was from. I did not see anything that was of a person. I would have had to go through and try frame by frame again to see if I could find it because I really didn't see anything else. Those were the ones I noticed that they focused on, but I don't know. If we can find a picture of it, we can talk about it. So Donna interrupts and tells him what's going on. And I did really like this scene though, where I forget, I somewhere here have the quote, I think. Maybe not. I thought I did. But where she says something like the way she says like that there are big dolls that came out that attacked us that came out of the lake. It was kind of funny the way she said it deadpan, I think.
Just in a way that she, you can tell she's talked to Boyd for a long time, and it's like, I know you're gonna think this is crazy, so I'm gonna tell you straight up.
Yeah. Let's see. I swear I had it here. Hold on, let me see. She says we were attacked by giant dolls that came out of the lake. But yeah, I don't know. I just find it funny. But she also points out that the totems aren't decorative. That Tabitha used it to kill one of them.
I mean, not only are they decorative, they're also purposeful.
True. But
like
yeah,
this.
she's like this. And then she also talks about finding Roger's body. I'm sorry, this is one of the creepiest things of the show, I think, and that freaked me the hell out. Like, that's creepy. Like we know it.
What?
No, go ahead.
Oh, it looks kind of like Randall on the one side, like like kind of doing the same thing, kind of Randall him up a little bit. The doll eyes, I wonder if he's going to become a doll.
I had not thought about Randall's face. You're right. It kind of a little bit does.
Like the face. But I mean, he could become alive again, right? Like they could animate him because they could animate him like a doll.
I sure hope not.
I mean, nobody's taking care of his body. He's just hanging out.
Like Tilly, they just forget about it, right?
Like they come alive again and try to kill you.
I don't know, but I found this very creepy that they made him into the doll. A lot of people though asked like how the doll sewed it, where it got the buttons from and that. And That is a good question. I don't know that it's really important, but I don't know. It just freaked me out. That's all I really got to say is it freaked me out. So then we have more about the golem, which that is a weird looking sculpture. I'm sorry.
I know. I kind of laughed a little when I saw it.
I know. It's like, yeah,
Hey there.
it's a little out of proportion there. So yeah, Ellis asked
funny?
what?
Oh, okay. My boyfriend doesn't watch From, and then when I mentioned this and showed him this, he was like, "So if Donna's like in a coma, he didn't know she came to." He's like, "Could they put her soul in this golem, and then it would just be the golem with like Elizabeth Saunders' voice,
That would be funny, but I don't
just
think it
walking
would.
around county house, getting shit done."
Yeah,
With
I
the
don't think
golem as a golem.
I'm not. I feel like that's a different show, but that would be funny.
This thing's got to be animated eventually, right? I mean,
I
this
sure hope
isn't
so.
just it. This is not it, right? This is not the end.
I hope not. It's like too good of an opportunity, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've said before, I wonder if it's just her way of coping, but I do agree with you. I sure hope not because they need to do something, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, the point of this scene is that he's asking her what's going on, and she basically says the same thing that we already knew. She said before that the world was scary and that believing in this kind of thing helps her, made her feel stronger, which we kind of already heard this.
Yeah.
So I feel like we really got nothing out of the scene other than seeing the weird looking golem. Um, but yeah, there wasn't too much really, in my opinion, in that was important, but maybe it'll be more important later. Okay,
Well, she
there's
believes in magic.
Yes, that's true. She does believe in magic. And Kaiser says, imagine it coming to life. It could be very interesting if it comes to life.
The power of imagination.
Yeah. Milk Toast says maybe Roger replaces the dead doll. Maybe, because there was one, like the one that they killed, that they stabbed, right?
Yeah,
so maybe
that's creepy.
Yeah, yeah. B says there's a lot less mud there than there was before. It doesn't look nearly as heavy as it did before. True, although I think that's probably more just a prop department thing. So
well, I'm
here's
glad it didn't break the floor.
Yeah, I still think that could have been funny if it did, though. Okay, so there's a drawing of Candy. The only thing I can say about Candy is Sarah was talking about Candy. That's the only thing I can.
They can make their own candy. I got gripes about that.
They probably could. They probably could.
You got sugar, you got fruit, you can make a candy. Oh,
Yeah,
that cup? You're gonna talk about that cup?
Well, the cup is the same cup that Sophia gave Marielle. I did notice that, but that wasn't what I was going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I was zooming in on the pictures. This is what I was talking about, the red drops that I don't know what it's supposed to be, but to me they look like red water drops, or blood rain. And there's that. This thing looks like a grandfather clock to me. I don't know.
Oh, there's a grandfather clock in the caves.
Is there? Ooh.
Yep.
I guess there is.
Yeah, when they come in and Jasper's kind of having that tea party by himself, there's a grandfather clock.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why that. Yeah, because this is stuff he wanted to forget, right? So that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
He's drawing a car and there's a brown crayon. So my guess is he's drawing the brown car to forget about it. Is this the picture you were asking me about?
Yeah, that creepy thing. Yeah, exactly that.
I mean, it could be something with a stitched mouth. It's kind of hard to tell from that
picture.
It's
blurry. Yeah.
It's upside down. I mean, I could probably sharpen it, but then we're back to the whole thing with the group of people. Like the AI is just going to make up shit anyway. So it's kind of hard
with the children that were there in Fromville.
Yeah. That was a bad idea from the beginning. And I feel like that's all this would do. But we really can't tell, but I will later see if we can get a closer, sharper picture. I didn't have the gripes about them not making gummies, but Tien Chen made pancakes. She could have made donuts. You're right. She could have.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
We need better food, right? If Tabby killed one of the dolls, they had to replace it, similar to Smiley. Maybe. Creepy, maybe. That is interesting.
Everything rejuvenates. People like reincarnate. Everything rejuvenates.
It does. But to latch onto what you said though, like why not at least make some things that are like special for special occasions, right? Like you don't
Mhm.
even see them making like a birthday cake. They couldn't have made a birthday cake when it was Fatima's whatever it was the anniversary for being there. Was it
Yeah,
because that
I
was
mean,
her
they
birthday?
have
But
pancakes, they have syrup, they can make maple syrup candies.
they could make a lot of things like
How
candies
about a
and donuts.
cosmic bar? Has anybody eaten that cosmic bar yet?
I don't know, but how many years old is that chocolate bar? Do you really want
Oh,
to eat a chocolate bar?
chocolate's timeless.
I don't know. I don't know that I would want to eat chocolate
Mm.
that old. But it does make me wonder why there's pictures of candy in one of his drawings. That's an odd thing to have, right?
He had those cookies too that were kind of stale that he tried to feed Tabby as well. Those chocolate cookies.
Yeah, he did have that's true. He did have cookies. All right. So this scene is okay. Like I said, Victor's drawing. Ethan comes in and asks about the suit, and Victor doesn't want to tell him. And his explanation makes sense. He says basically, I told my father and he freaked out. So I don't want the same thing to happen to you. Um, and Victor was smart for saying that. But I do really like that Ethan is too smart for his own good now, right? Because he's like, well, if you're not going to tell me that, then I'm not going to tell you what happened to, settlement.
Yeah.
Of course, it didn't work out because he ended up telling him anyway. But I did appreciate the effort that was there.
I think it was more the banter because Victor's, has a mindset of a child, and then Ethan comes in and they had that little banter back and forth.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
precious.
yeah. That moment when you're dealing with your brother, I don't know. I don't know if you mean Ethan and Victor. Um, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that is about. Oh, not the cookie. No, I love that fake out version of Carol B. That was like my favorite. Beet donuts. I don't know about beet donuts. That sounds gross, but um, I loved when she became the fake homemaker. All that shit. That was good. That was one of my favorite
Just
parts.
say if you have a stock of butter, salt, and flour, you can make a lot of things.
You can. They definitely can make a lot of things.
And gelatin, you
Um,
can make gummies. There's a lot of gelatin.
like
Animal.
why not? That's what I'm saying. Like even if they don't make it all the time, like why not make stuff for special occasions or something? Like
Hmm.
they gotta do some things that are
But then
fun.
again, they've only been there a month, so well, Matthew.
Well, not all of them. Some of them have been there a couple years.
Yeah,
But yeah, they don't have Tian Chen now either though. So maybe she would know how and they don't. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. But Ethan does tell him about the settlement, about the dolls, the monsters, and that his mother killed it. And Victor says that Tabitha's pretty tough, and his own mother was too. Now, I want to talk to you about this line because this, again, it could mean absolutely nothing, but it stood out to me. Victor says she always smiled, even though she was scared because she knew that that him and his sister would be scared if she didn't.
interesting.
So I bring that up because we kind of questioned before, and we've talked about this before. Like, there's nightmares in the forest that come to life, right?
Hmm.
I am assuming the monsters do not count from that because of the fact they're supposed to be the townspeople. But they are called nightmare creatures. And it just made me wonder and think back to how I had a theory about Victor. And this was like back, I don't know, 2 seasons ago. I
Yeah.
had a theory like that this was all coming from Victor's mind and the whole like
Oh
thing
yeah.
about not understanding electricity and all that. But it made me wonder, like, could that come from that? Like and I know, granted, it was because of Jamie McGuire, but just like they made the boy in yellow or being boy in yellow, boy in white being older, they connected to the story. Like I was just wondering, is it possible that like that's why the monsters smile, right? That
Yeah,
was a
it
my
could.
thought.
Yeah.
It's very creepy if that's the case though, because she did it as a way to help him. And like if that became the nightmare, that's awful, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I guess the show is based on awfulness, right?
It is. But I feel like both things can't be true. Like it's either the monsters or the townspeople or they're not. But if this whole thing is based on a story or a dream or whatever, then they could be. So
Well, like Kaiser Bowl says, it could be based on that old maid card game too.
yeah, I
Which
definitely
both Miranda and Victor would know because it was Victor's room, and they probably
yeah.
played it.
Yes, yeah. I definitely have heard that theory and I think that that's a possibility. That is Ethan's pattern with Victor. You won't take the drawing. I don't want your coat. If you won't tell me, I won't tell you. I know, but it's so though like what a kid does, right? Like it's believable because he's at
Yeah.
the age he's doing that. So
And like they said, they are kind of like brothers in a weird way.
they are. They are. Do you remember what he was drawing? Did it show what he was drawing?
Yeah, he was drawing. I remember what he was drawing. His adventures on the lake. I don't know. I can't remember because I did see it. I made a note of it in my head and now I've forgotten.
That's fine. I just wondered. That was why.
You see, at the end, he's almost drawn it at the end.
Okay.
So
I'll see if you can. I don't know if you. Oh, you can tell. Yeah, I would say that look. I'll be honest.
Doll monster. Yeah, yeah.
I think that looks more like the Gollum, though, doesn't it? I mean, it's a kid's drawing. Look, I'm not saying that
it's a scarecrow. It's probably the scarecrow.
Probably. There's a better picture of the face, though. That does look like it's got a stitched mouth.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. It does. Mm-hmm. That is interesting because that was already there. So, I mean, that's an old drawing.
And it looks wet. Like the hair looks wet. Like it came out of the lake.
It's got wavy hair. And
or like splashes. It looks almost like splash lines around the head too, like it splashed in the water.
In the water. It does. But obviously that was something Victor drew already. And excuse me, Ethan hadn't told him yet. So very interesting. But those do look like blood drops. I don't know what else you could call them, right? Fire drops, I guess. I don't know. To me, they look like blood.
Mm-hmm.
Tears of blood.
I don't know what they mean.
Yeah, I don't know. B says an old maid, no winners, just one last loser. Will they end up with one person left alone and from? I sure hope not, B. Townspeople are the ones that get invited back to the game. Maybe. And B agrees with me. No, I don't know. I just think it looks more like the Golem. But to be fair, it's a kid's drawing, so it could be.
I don't think Ethan's seen it though. I don't think he's seen it.
Unless no, he hasn't. You're right.
Brief reception.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. He hasn't, but well, he's Ethan. I don't know.
I assumed that he was telling him about his trip to the lake, and he was going to show Victor by drawing.
Yeah,
he probably doesn't want to remember these either.
Yeah, I don't know. B said those red drops make me think it's supposed to be raining blood or something, maybe. Which kind of doesn't sound good. That's for sure.
No.
All right. So then we have Henry
contemplating this yellow suit. Don't put on the suit, Henry. Don't put on the suit.
Don't put on the suit. I mean, look, he's only standing there staring at it because it gives Sophia a chance to come in and find it there. But she's like, you look troubled, Henry.
And she's like, who can I fuck with today? Oh, hey, Henry.
Henry, come over here. Yeah, she says she's looking for Boyd, I think, doesn't she? And he's like, oh, sure. Go to Colony. But instead, she follows him to the bar. And he's gonna drink. He's like corrupting minors though, right? Like it's still really irresponsible. He gives her alcohol just because she's like, oh, I'm old enough to experience grief. That's very true, but it makes no, but seriously, like you think about what happened. Now he doesn't know what happened to Frank because he wasn't there. So I give him that. Yeah. But the same kind of thing could happen. Like if she was a real girl, instead of, you know what I mean?
A real teenager, yeah.
A real teenager as opposed to the man in yellow. Like she could get drunk and open a door or something at night or do something that could put people in danger.
Oh, I totally thought there was going to be a subplot where she was going to get drunk. She was going to accuse Henry of getting her drunk, maybe making a move on her or something, or what else she was going to do during the day and blame it all on him. So the town would be like, you are a bad man.
Yeah, I could have seen that happening too, but I'm just concerned with the fact he gave a teenager alcohol. But I mean, it is what it is. It is a bad situation. So I kind of at the same time get it. But
There's
I just
so much drinking in this episode. There's so much booze.
There is. There's a lot of alcohol. Right?
What?
No, I said there's a lot of alcoholism in this show, period.
Yeah, because I mean, Jonna's drinking up, Boyd's drinking up, they're all drinking. It's like,
they are.
That's how you get past, I guess. How you get by.
Yeah. Kaiser says, oh, hey, you again. We saw her literally before. They did, but she followed him.
Yeah,
I
he should have
assume,
shut the door on her.
yeah.
Lock it.
It doesn't surprise me an alcoholic will be giving someone young alcohol. I mean, it's not the best idea, but they don't like to drink alone. All right, that's fair. Lucas says, I just thought she was going to murder him.
Plus in Henry's heyday, it was the 70s, and people did, gave their kids nips of beer all the time, or whiskey to go to sleep.
True. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would have hurt her to have some, but like he gave her enough to make her drunk. Henry is the wino that buys underage kids drinks from the liquor store as long as he gets a free bottle. You're probably right. I could totally see that, Gold Child. You're not wrong.
Like it was a house in Maine, and all these kids just like would knock on his door.
Yeah, we'll give you free beer. Unfortunately, that does happen though in real life. But let me ask you. I saw somebody mention, and I don't remember what it was that they said it meant, and because I never read the whole theory, but there were people that brought this glass up. Do you have any theories other than it's a cowboy and there's a cowboy in the show?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be riding a pony on a boat. Is there boat imagery on there somewhere?
No, I just see the cowboy.
Well, there's a lot of Western stuff. Like in season 1, Ethan had like cowboy pajamas. It might be a symbol because a lot of times I think it's a symbol of, cowboys, kind of cowboys settling the Wild West and all that happened in America. I feel like there's a lot of that going on behind the scenes here, like for props and things.
Yeah, it could just be kind of a theme. I just wondered because I know people brought it up. It looks like there's a 7 on that bottle. I'm just gonna bring that up. But this to me looks kind of like Colony House. Or like the house in
they're cool glasses. I wish I could talk to prop people in the show.
Yes, I would love that. But
it'd be great to find where they find these, because it's like people bring stuff in with them, I guess, and it's just decades of these really cool glasses and stuff being brought in.
Yeah, I'd love to walk through their the storage room, right?
Yeah.
Do we think she was really drunk though? Seemed like she was faking. Yeah, I don't think she was drunk. I was just more making the point that he gave who he thinks major alcohol. No,
can an entity get drunk? Is another question we have.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. I tend to think no, she's not really drunk, that was all fake would be my Hey, West of Westeros, welcome. I agree 100%. Don't think the Ant-Man and y'all can get drunk, so she was definitely over exaggerating. Well, I think Henry was so drunk he didn't pay attention one way or another, so it didn't really whether she was overdoing it or not. But he does finally let her drink with him. They had candy machines. They had candy or gumballs at some point.
Yeah, not anymore.
I feel like I never noticed stuff this detailed until I started doing these From deep dives. And then I'm like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And sometimes it drives me crazy because I do it and I know it's like, that's not important, Jamie. Like, I want to be like, don't do that. But it's hard not to. It really is.
Well, it's fun. And I also like props and I like, set design and all that. So I'm interested.
No, I do too. And we do know that, a lot of times they do pay attention, even if it doesn't have meaning, it was done because they wanted it to be specifically that.
Like the flavor here with like the little calendar, they had the rendezvous calendar in this room and they have the picture of Donna's sister that's always there and, things that make it feel like it's a time and place.
And make it feel lived
all the mismatched furniture from different times and stuff.
Yeah,
that forest picture was chosen for a reason. Maybe Donna hung it in there. She's been there for like 3 years and some change.
How would she get the picture though?
From Colony House, that picture of trees that's above her bed.
Oh, you mean like she took it from? Okay, when you said that, I thought you meant like she physically took the picture. You mean she found it somewhere and hung it up?
I mean the one above her bed of the trees, not the one of her sister.
No, the one here of the trees, you mean, right?
She would best pick that. She's like a woodsy girl. She likes it. She puts it up there.
Right. But I thought when you said that, I thought you meant like she physically took a picture of the trees. I was saying wouldn't have made sense. But I didn't know you meant like she found it somewhere and hung it up.
Yeah.
Because they're not developing film there. I mean, they could, but...
Well, it's Polaroid. It develops itself.
Okay, then you're not talking about the same picture I am. I thought you were talking about the big picture on the wall that had.
Yeah, I'm talking about the picture on the wall. That's this artwork she found and hung up because she's a woodsy girl.
Okay, well, it's not a Polaroid though. That was my point.
It's not a Polaroid. Yeah, I agreed.
Okay, well, I thought you were saying it was. That's why I'm like,
No, I'm
"What?"
not saying it's a Polaroid. I just said it was a picture she probably found somewhere in a counting house. She liked to put it on the wall. I was comparing it
Okay,
to the calendar that gives you a little bit of time period, and then her
okay.
picture of her sister, which we don't know where that came from, and everybody thought she was bold because of it. But I think sometimes people have pictures of their family and friends.
They
That's
do, especially if they're older. I feel like now we don't, because I know I have not printed out pictures in years, which is actually a really bad thing. I forget who I was talking about this to a while ago. Um, that's bad because you never know what could happen. And like if there is an apocalypse and we lose all power, it'd be nice to have pictures of your family. I feel like um,
hmm Yeah, a lot of
people
people
don't.
used to put them on their wallets, in their wallets and stuff. Let's carry
Yeah,
them.
yeah, but people don't print pictures anymore. So it makes sense to me an older person would have a picture
Mhm.
as opposed to like a teenager.
Well,
Um,
plus, her and her sister were in Montana, which is pretty, you know,
remote.
out, removed area.
Yeah, no, that's true. Um, but oh, I know what I was gonna say. I got sidetracked. I was gonna say, I'm intending to have the interview for Widow's Bay up hopefully tomorrow because it needs
That's
to go up
cool.
this week. Which is
Mhm,
from the production designer, which we talked a lot about the props and the sets and everything.
mhm.
I know this isn't this show, but it's still very interesting if you like that kind of stuff.
Kinda looks
All
like
right,
Teddy has wings.
kind of does. I would agree with that. I see it.
Die.
Photos are the last thing you think of in an extreme situation. It is true, but she
Yeah.
probably had the photo with her.
Kaiser Bowl doesn't like her anesthesia of the picture.
No, I just think that you should, yeah, she probably had it with her. I just think that people should take more pictures, and I think that even of myself, like I said, like,
Mhm.
I think of that, and it makes me think, "Why do I not print pictures anymore?" Like, yeah, it makes me think I should print pictures of my family so they're there in case there's a zombie apocalypse or something.
Mhm. Well, you can get those scrapbooks made. You can have a bunch of digital pictures and get one made.
No, you can. I'm just saying I haven't in, like, forever. I
Yeah.
mean, I can, I used to. I know when I went to conventions, I used to, like, go up to, Walgreens or whatever and get, like, a couple
Mhm.
100 pictures printed. It's like I took all the time to take the pictures of the people I wanted them, but now they just sit in your phone, so it is
Yeah.
what it is. It is a different, a different time, and, we kinda live in the middle of it where a lot of people don't aren't even on the other side of it, so they don't have never done that. All
Mhm.
right. So anyway, this conversation is about them telling Boyd more about what happened. And this is where I was saying that this scene was kind of redundant to me
Mhm.
because they're just repeating the nightmare stuff we already knew about the cicadas, all that. Like we kind of heard this last episode, but yeah, Donna gets upset because she's like, not only do we have monsters, now we got to tell people that we have our nightmares in the forest. You know,
Mhm.
how much more can people take? And this is when she gets like freaks out a bit. And I don't know, they make it kind of seem like maybe she's getting worked up and
Mhm.
that caused the heart attack, or that, you know, it was preceding it because she was getting ready to have a heart attack. I don't know. But
She's in the mirror too. It's always
yeah,
bad when you're in the mirror.
yeah. But she starts to fall as she has a heart attack and Boyd catches her. Um, I I know that some people like Kaiser thought that these scenes were too long. I mean I like this part of the episode. I think sometimes you need character stuff. I do
Mhm.
understand why you feel like it dragged. I get it. I just I don't feel like it did, but I understand why you do. Um but yeah, I mean, especially because Donna's like one of my favorites. I'm like, no, not
Mhm.
Donna. And especially because we all thought she was gonna die. I think most people thought she was gonna die. I'm like, no, no, no.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
horrible when she was just there and she didn't have a pulse, and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm gonna lose track of
I was definitely tearing up when I was watching this, like, no, don't kill Donna. And Boyd's, you know, freaking out too. Like Donna's like his friend. I don't know what you call that, like his friend, his sister. I don't know. I mean, she's important to him.
compadre."
Compadre, yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah,
She's somebody
I
that
wondered if it wasn't an entity doing it, or do you think it was just a natural heart attack, or do you think there was foul play by an entity?
personally, I think it was just a heart attack, but I think it could have been because of all the shit that's been happening. Like, you know, you have a lot of stress, it can make it stress on your heart. And she just went through almost getting killed by the doll. So to me, that makes sense. Just like, did Boyd will her back to life? It's very possible that she was dead because he did say that she, didn't, was gone or whatever for 5 to 7 minutes. He was pumping her heart. But if you give somebody, CPR, they can come back. It can keep them alive. So I don't think it has to be supernatural that she had a heart attack. I don't think it has to be
Well, I meant
supernatural.
supernatural in a way that an entity did this as to delay a bunch of people while said entity gives entities blood to other characters to make them do something even more awful and set them up.
Oh, because like nobody's paying attention to what's happening in the bar.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it's definitely possible, but like I said, I think it could be, it could not be. Just like I think her not dying could have been Boyd's will. It could have just been naturally she didn't die too. But I just hope that the fact that they've had 2 fake outs with Donna in 2 weeks, like that better be.
That she's pretty safe.
Like, if they do it again, I'm gonna scream. And because especially like I can't see them doing 3 fake outs, so they better not like turn around now and kill her or something, because that would be so awful. That would be really awful.
She just walks outside and gets hit by a train, and you're like, "Where'd this train come from?"
Yeah, that would be really, really bad. Petty almost cried. I did cry, but I cry easy, so I said I'm never the person to judge that by. Catastrophe says, I think it's been so much built up stress. It definitely could be.
There's a lot to carry. Didn't somebody say she carries a lot?
Oh, was that they were talking about her? Yeah, I never knew what that was in reference to. Now that you said that, that makes sense. Yeah. When Donna scenes happened, I knew that we wouldn't have time to get answers to Jade's mushroom vision. To be fair, I feel like we can't do that now anyway, because that's like such an important thing. Like they're going to stretch that out for the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Petty says she did die. So again,
yeah, she did die.
Yeah. Yeah, you think that. I know a lot of people think that. That's why I'm saying I don't know if I buy she died. Like I think maybe she just came back. Sometimes I think we put too much into the entities and supernatural when like, people do have heart attacks and come back. But I like the idea that maybe she died because there is the whole thing with the nightmares with, did she see something? So I can buy that as long as she stays alive, right?
Yeah, it'd be cool if she had some kind of something to impart on other people from that experience.
Yeah.
That would help.
Exactly. I was gonna say, what happened to I saw West was there, but he's so quiet. Okay, let's see. Lucas says, even when Donna woke up at the end, I thought she was going to say her final words and then die. I like Donna. I'm glad she's still around, but I hope there will be a story reason for all of this. Donna has been in the town a long time. We have never seen a backstory. She might be the one to stay behind. To be fair, because I forget who I was talking to this about, or talking about this too. We've never seen really anybody's backstory except for like when Boyd came. Like, there aren't flashbacks in this show. So
there's just more stories about how people came when they're talking to each other.
Yeah, we don't. You're right. We don't have a lot, but I'm just saying, like, we technically don't see anybody's. She had no pulse. I think that counts as dying. I mean, yeah, if she really had no pulse, I guess you could. I guess that depends how you define dying too.
But they had no way to really check her vitals until they hooked up that, they
exactly. So yeah, I really like your idea that she died and came back. I really like that. I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know that, like, to me, it doesn't necessarily feel like that's necessarily what happened, but I like the idea of it. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But it could be interesting. No pulse does not officially mean death. And I guess that's kind of like the way I look at it. Like, but a lot of people look at it differently, even in real life too, though. I mean, so that just depends how you look on it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if we do see something, as long as we don't get like a whole episode that's like a dream or something, and then I'm okay with it. That I don't want to see. All right. So here's Patty Mel. I'm not the one that came up with that, but I've heard other people say that.
Well done, Patty. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. So yeah, poor Patty and her burn. I feel even worse for her too, though, because she's got this awful, painful burn that they're fixing, and then they're like, "Okay, bye," and they
I
take
see
off.
you. I see you. Put this on. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, they at least got the bandage on, to be fair, before they took off.
Well,
But
stuff happens in this town.
yeah, well, you know what else is interesting that I didn't think of until now? Kenny runs in, right? And they run right
Yeah.
out. How the hell did Christy run to get there? Like, she's got a bum leg, right? Like, how did she get there?
Kenny carried her. Is what
Maybe.
reminds.
Yeah, yeah. He put her over
Yeah,
her shoulder.
well, they have. Do they still have that vehicle, that truck? Or
Oh, you know what? Didn't Boyd say something to him when he said go get Christy? I think he said take the van or something like that.
yeah, I think they have at least one vehicle that works now, right? Because they
They
don't have.
do. They do, but now that you said that, I think he actually told him to take the van. So that makes more sense. But yeah, Kenny comes and they rush back into Colony House, um, and come up to Donna and they take the machine. And let's see. Donna does not have a pulse, or no, Mariel asks if Donna has a pulse. Tabitha says no. And then Mariel asks how long it's been. And Boyd says it's been maybe 5 or 7 minutes. And as I said earlier in the watch party, like, why not say 4 or 7 minutes? It just would have been funny, even if it had no
Oh
point.
yeah,
Instead of
47 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. But he did start compressions right away. So I mean, he could have stopped her, brain from being
Yeah,
whatever happened to her brain.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, she shocks Donna as Boyd does compressions. Now, I know people have had a lot of complaints about the scene, that it's not medically done right. I am not a medical person. I do not know. I did not notice anything wrong with it, but I guess first of all, it's supposed to be against your skin, which I didn't know,
Yeah,
which that may
yeah. We
simply
have
be.
we have them at our school.
Yeah, is that, do you have to do that though? You have to like open their shirt or whatever?
Yeah, we have training on how to do it. I've never done it, but they
Okay.
are at school. Yeah, it's supposed to be skin contact, but I mean, it's a show. They're not gonna take off Elizabeth Saunders' shirt and do this.
And that was what I was just gonna say. I think that was more like they don't wanna do that in the show, or she don't wanna do. I mean, it's kinda like when they have a sex scene, because we always talk about this. AJ always says stuff like this. When, like, they have a sex scene and, like, the women are wearing bras and stuff. We've had this
Yeah,
discussion before. It's TV. But considering, Chloe's a nurse, yeah, the
yeah.
fact that it seems so off. The compressions, I don't know. Somebody complained about the way the compressions were, and I don't know how that works. Um, but yeah, oh, it's okay, just me. No, I get it. It is TV, but I
Yeah.
get it if it looks fake to people. But to me, to
What,
people who
like
know,
boys' chest compressions, or I
yeah,
mean, a lot of people are kind of trained with it, but maybe don't know how to do it exactly.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, to most people, I feel like the majority of people are like me and don't know anything about, like, I didn't know you were supposed to have skin contact because I've never trained. I've never like really paid attention to it.
Yeah.
So to me it was fine, but it makes sense you'd have to have skin contact. But yes, I think that's more of like, this is TV and she probably didn't want to take her shirt off, which totally makes sense. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't have wanted to either. So I get it. I get it.
They've never
Um,
really had one scene of nudity in this whole thing.
no, they haven't. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I get it. It didn't matter. It didn't bother me. So I
I
don't know.
didn't think it was crucial to the plot, so
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah. Um, but yeah, I get it. I mean, it bothered a lot of people. And the fact that Chloe is a nurse, I think kind of maybe made it worse, because she should have like said something. I think people think, which I'm not saying I think that. I'm just saying I think some people had said that I had seen on Facebook. So I
yeah.
don't know. But you know what? If that is the case, they need to like invent a better defibrillator, because like you shouldn't have to do that. That's kind of like, why do you have to do that? There's probably a reason. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, it seems like something. Why do you have to do that?
Mhm.
West says, I had thoughts that if Donna died simultaneously, the golem would come to life, but obviously that didn't happen. Which is kind of like what you said about that.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah. I'm not sure that putting the link on the screen is going to help people, Dieter, but if Dieter still has a code for Rabbit Tree Designs Etsy shop, we love Dieter. If you guys want to get talisman, if you haven't won one, or if you have won one and you want another one, you can get a discount
Make
there.
Get graduation gifts, Father's Day gifts, Fourth of July gifts.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks to Dieter and West. Lots of people have talismans coming. So, but yeah, that's cool, Dieter. Thank you. If people want to use that code. Okay. Just me said Roger died. So who's coming to town now? This is to do with I'm guessing the 47. I kind of wonder though, like maybe they're not being 47. Like if there needs to be 47 people, is it not possible that maybe like not being 47 destabilizes it more? I don't know.
A lot of times I didn't think that stuff was even anyway with some of the red shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought too much about the numbers. I know people do. Which chest compressions were trash in the wrong place, not at the right pace. The use of the paddles over the shirt's trash. The shirt could have been cut. Dead people can't be modest. True. But it's a TV show. I'm not trying to give an excuse. I'm just saying how I think. Also, if you really give somebody compression in the correct way, I could be wrong about this, but when you really give real compressions, can't you crack their ribs?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm guessing that probably when they do it for a TV show, they probably tell them how to do it a safe way. So it may simply be like a safety thing, because she's a person instead of, and I mean, like if she's a dummy, maybe they could have been like, but
yeah, they don't want to hurt the actors. Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, they could have, to be fair, like they could have used a dummy and done all these things differently. But I feel like if they did that, people would have complained she didn't look real.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it would have been like Jim's dummy, and people have been like,
yeah. Oh. So it would have been half in one, half dozen in one, six in the other. However you say that. Okay. I'm glad not to see Jonah's chest. However, Boyd would have been drenched in sweat. And yes, usually their bones are cracked. Yes. So yeah, I don't know. So some of it might have just been a TV thing. What's that? I want the cave people to make an appearance at night again. They're on a staycation. Yeah. We do want to see the monsters again, but there's a lot.
I see Smiley. Smiley only had one scene so far.
I know, but we'll probably see him again soon. I also have to say, like, in a way, sometimes that you don't see him so often, like it makes it more special, I guess.
Yes, it does.
So there is that. All right. So anyway, Boyd continues his chest compressions in the wrong way. So maybe that's why it didn't work. Christy's saying it didn't work, right?
But with that, he makes up with the will of the mind.
The will of the mind, yeah. The point is that Boyd is screaming at Donna, "You can't die till I tell you to," or something to that effect. So yeah, did he will her back to life? Maybe. I don't know, but I like the idea.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. But this is where they decide they need the monitor. She does start breathing again. Hurts. She does have a pulse, but I think they say it's slow or something.
It's weak.
It's weak. Yeah. So they need the monitor to hook her up to the heart monitor, but it's in the clinic. Oh no, it's in the ambulance. Okay. That makes actually more sense because I was wondering how they made it work in the clinic. They had it in the clinic before though, right? Or was that that was an ultrasound.
It's in an ambulance.
No, I was thinking of the ultrasound when they checked the baby. That wasn't a heart monitor, so forget that. But Boyd says he'll take care of it, and that's because apparently at some point off screen, people told him about the electricity issue, even though he was nowhere around Jim and Jade. But that's okay. That didn't really bother me. But he goes and runs to get Jade. I don't know if there's a point that he has a Rubik's Cube, but, he's got a Rubik's Cube that he has found. And Boyd comes running in and he's like, "I need your help. Donna had a heart attack. Come help me get wires." And I kind of like this scene. Like it was funny in a way, I guess like darkly comedic in a way, because Boyd's like, we need you. And he's like, "Who's the body?" And then he sees the, Roger, and he's like, "We need you to come do this. Like, forget about the body right now."
Yes.
So, and
until they
why?
go in there and the body's gone, and Roger is reanimated and walking around.
Yeah, maybe, who knows? But I do got to say, I do not understand why they threw Roger on top of the wires in the first place. Like, why is he laying on the wires?
Yeah.
That was not smart forethought there. Um, Lucas says they mentioned Smiley has a psychic connection with Fatima last episode, so he'll probably have a significant role. And maybe, I mean, he wasn't in like all season last year, right? And then like he was in the finale, and it was like crazy important scene. So
Oh yeah,
it's yeah. So we'll have to find out. But either way, they get the wires, they bring them in, and then there is this scene here with Ethan asking about what happened, and his mother tells him Donna had a heart attack. And he questions if she'll be okay, and she says, I don't know. Um, I don't know that it was good. I mean, I guess it was probably in this case good to tell him the truth, rather than to try to make him not upset.
yeah,
But he asks, like, is it because of the doll? She says she doesn't know. But then he immediately says he wants to see her to tell her goodbye before she dies.
yeah.
And Tabitha's like, she's not going to die, which I kind of have to say, you just told him you didn't know if she was going to die. And you like changed that really quick, right?
Well, I feel like Ethan's pretty mature past his years, so he wants to do what he thinks is the right thing.
No, yes, I agree. I just think it's kind of funny because he's like, will she be okay? And she says, I don't know. Like, I really don't know if she's going to be okay. And then he says, well, I want to tell her goodbye in case she dies. And she's like, it's not going to die. So like, she kind of flipped really quick, but I get it. I mean, it's still like, it's her kid and she don't want to be upset. So I understand
That's Tabby's parenting. I just
No, I just think it was kind of funny that she flip flopped so quick. Just me said I thought the wires were under the table and they had to move the body away from the table. When I showed it earlier, I don't know
Yeah,
if
he was just on top of a bunch of wires, like a big.
he's completely, yeah, here it is. He's completely on top of the wires. Not
Which makes it look more creepy with the wires there.
It does. It
Like
looks
he's
like he's got
robotic or automaton or something.
yeah, something creepy there. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, he says that she's gonna die. I want to tell her goodbye. And she says that Donna won't. And he says, yes, she will, because everyone dies. And I just want to tell her goodbye. That part was so sad. I definitely cried at that. It's like, oh, because everybody dies. He just lost his father. He's like, of course she's gonna die. My father just died. I can't deal with this. And yeah, I thought that was so sad. And yeah, I'm glad they let him talk to her and that they let him in long enough for that. There he is fixing the electric. Got the heart monitor going. But yeah, they do let Ethan in to tell her goodbye. And he says that where'd it go? Oh, also I skipped, I didn't mean to, that when Boyd asked like why she isn't woken up or whatever, that's where Christy says they don't know how long her brain was deprived of oxygen. But they let Ethan come in because he's upset. Kenny comes in and asks, and then Christy says it's okay. And then Ethan says that he won't forget what she said, that fear is what makes us heroes, and that he'll do his best to be brave and that he loves her. That was really sad. And I feel like that kind of connects to the scene at the settlement, but more so than that, it obviously connects with the scene from was it season 1 or season 2 with the when they were digging in the house, and like wasn't it when his mother was gone or something, he talked to Dawn. I can't remember, but it was when they were digging up the house or whatever, and he talked to Dawn.
It's interesting if you watch the episodes they recommended for the rewatch, because I had all the scenes of Donna and Ethan together, which makes me think that maybe they'll have other scenes together as it goes the rest through the season. I thought it was interesting. I made notes about it because I was like, that's interesting to me, because I feel like they're both have a little bit of plot armor, because I feel like there's a connection between those two characters.
That is interesting. But I don't know when that scene was from, but I did like that scene. But yes, it kind of does give him a little bit of plot armor, but I'm fine with that because I don't want anything to happen to Donna, so I'm okay with that. but yeah, Ethan's trying to be brave, and he does look at Donna as, I don't know, mother figure, grandmother figure, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
He looks up to her, and so he's worried about her. I was gonna say, do they have that crooked picture? I think it's later. They have the IV hanging on the picture. And I
Yeah.
think it was me that said the same thing I did, like straighten the picture. I just seen it and it's
But
like,
that's the
why?
IVs, it's pulling it down because there's an IV there. Or you gotta pop the IV out of Donna to get the
No,
to
it just
straight.
the picture, and all I could notice was the crooked picture. I think it's because I'm staring at too many things. But yeah, I just noticed that. Let's see. Dieter says, just hope the Donna stuff isn't filling because I feel we got a lot of that this season. I don't feel like it. It's just filling, but I guess it could be. Um, oh, I had starred this before from Blitzrig. Sorry about that. I meant to put that up before. Will Donna back to life? It's highly possible. I agree that it is. I don't know that it's the case, but I definitely agree it could be. In cases, fix the picture. Let's see. Anon says it's better not to be brought back because brain industries, brain
Mhm.
industries, brain industries, brain injuries. There we go.
Injuries.
Are a gift that keeps on giving and doesn't come with a gift receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she has brain damage, but I'm going to guess that if she's okay, she's probably okay, just because I don't know that they're
Yeah.
gonna like. Do
Because
you
it'd be
really
too
think
difficult and there's not enough episodes.
there's not? And I also kind of feel like we have the whole thing with Boyd and him thinking that, and whether it can, I don't know, but him like his whole help me out, the Parkinson's, saying
Yeah.
that it can make them have memory issues and stuff. So I
Mhm.
feel like I don't know what would be the point of adding somebody else with brain injuries. I just don't. Not that that's a brain injury, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's similar, and yeah, I don't foresee them doing that. Let's see. Just me says they made it seem like he wrote her back.
Yeah.
I don't agree. Character focused story is filler. It can be, but I think sometimes the folks who just want action all the time consider it filler no matter what. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
but I feel that that's one of the main things it's more drama, like haunting drama than
Yeah,
jump
yeah,
scare and horror, or gore. So it
yeah.
doesn't.
No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But I know even just me says here, not a lot's happened this season to wow us. Still no deaths. I I don't know. Like I don't feel like you have to have main character deaths. I know a lot of people do. I know it makes it feel like it's more, I guess, thrilling and when people can die,
More
but I don't
high stakes.
my more high stakes, yeah.
Yeah.
I would prefer they not kill main people no matter what. That's just me, but no, I get that. I know it's important to folks main people die to make it matter. I don't feel that way. Yeah, so I guess we have both sides of it. Let's see. Dieter says maybe she saw things in her short coma that would at least be something, or if she does her dream or nightmare, wakes up with Fatima's goal. Um, yeah, I don't. I feel like the thing with the golem is probably not going to be connected to her just because she already woke up. At the end,
Yeah.
of this, I don't know, but that's my thoughts. Um, so yeah, so Ethan goes out and Boyd stays in to talk to Donna. Uh dies, not does. Okay. That's okay. Okay, so we have more of Sophia and Henry and they're drinking. And they've drank the whole bottle and Sophia's like I should go get more. Um I wanted to ask though that there's a question here that I kind of wonder about what you thought. Like, okay, she goes over to supposedly that face is creepy. She goes over to get more alcohol and she sees, I thought I had a picture of it here, maybe I didn't, but she sees the broken glass, right?
Yeah.
So I know as soon as you see the broken glass, you're supposed to realize, that might be something to do with what she's going to do. So I have to wonder before she went over and they showed the broken glass, like, did she already have the plan and see the glass, or did she come up with the plan now? And if she came up with the plan now, what was her plan at the beginning?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it was also shown to the viewer like there's some cut glass here. I mean, there's so much like scenes in this whole series about broken glass and you know the girl who couldn't put the broken object back together that Sarah has, and Tabby cutting herself again when Henry was around, and a lot of that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just was curious because it makes me wonder, like, they made it seem like, oh, this was when her idea came, but what was her idea then? I don't know.
Who knows what the
So
entity is thinking?
yeah, it might just been, I guess, for our benefit. Um, just me says these Henry Sophia scenes creep me out. They do somewhat creep me out too.
Mm.
Although the Roger stuff creeps me out more. Um, Golden Child says maybe Donna stabbing the scarecrow in the heart was symbolizing her upcoming heart attack. Maybe. Or oh wait, but Donna didn't oh, you mean before she ripped it open. Maybe that
Oh,
caused the heart attack.
are there like voodoo dolls and you attack them in the heart, then they get somebody else's heart?
Yeah, maybe. But I don't think he doesn't mean Tabitha. He means like when Donna was ripping it apart at the beginning.
Mm.
So that's a good, yeah, I don't know. That's a good point though that I had not thought of. So yeah, she does look at the broken glass, but she talks to Henry. She asks about the yellow suit and why he was looking at it. And he says that the man who wore that suit did horrible things to his family. And she's like, oh, you have family here. And he says, just his son, and explains that, which we already know. I guess she's just trying to sound interested. I mean, it's not really relevant.
Yeah.
And when she asks where the man is now, he says he hopes he's rotting in hell. Part of me almost wondered, and I don't know that I think this, but I'm just saying there was like a tiny spark of this when I was thinking about this. Do you remember how, like, when we talked to Doug before and he said like that he does personally, now that again, this is his belief on what he thinks the character was thinking. That doesn't mean it's the case, but
Yeah.
that thought that he really did like Jim, and like when he said, I like you, it's a shame you have to die, or whatever he said, that he
Yeah.
really
Like
it
he
almost
sympathizes with them.
right. And I know a lot of this seems like a game to him.
Yeah.
It almost made me wonder, like, was she waiting to see the response? And if he hadn't have said something bad about the man in yellow, would this have went differently? I don't know that it would have. I just, it made me wonder, like, was it once he said, oh, I wish he was in hell, or oh, he's this horrible person? I don't know. It
Yeah.
just got me thinking about it. Again, I don't know that it makes sense. It just was a random thought that popped in my head. All right, hold on. I gotta get Kleenex. Give me one sec. All right.
Yeah, she does have some good looks in this one.
Yeah, she does. She's definitely got some creepy looks. Patty says, I think she got the idea when Henry mentioned mixing something with the drink.
How about my blood?
Did he say that? I thought she said something like there's probably something to make it taste better, and he said he looked. I don't remember what he said. I'm not saying he didn't say something before that. I'm just saying I don't remember what it was he said before
Too
that.
bad her blood didn't make it taste better. Like Henry was like, "Oh, this is delicious."
Yeah, that actually would have made sense too. But
It's
instead
like
he's
sweet, fruity blood.
yeah, but he's like, this got a kick. I like that picture there where they're like clinking glasses. Like, let's drink to your family. Yeah, no. I just noticed that glass has milk in it, doesn't it? Like we were talking about the glass, but it never occurred to me like it's white. Is that like the design's white, or is there something in it?
The design's white.
Okay.
It's printed
Okay.
on. You know how
Yeah.
I
No, I know
remember like old jam jars and stuff. They used to have a screen print all the way around. So
yeah.
that's a screen print.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Dieter says, I'm glad they didn't make Henry into a pedophile. The blood in the glass promo was so vague you couldn't have known what we saw without the scene. The blood gives her control over Henry. Well, all I would say is maybe that means they did a little bit better job with the trailer of not giving stuff away. Would be my answer to that.
Hey man, I like stayed away for a whole week and I still saw a picture of Father Kadri and I still saw the CPR stuff and I was trying not to see anything. So, It
Yeah,
happens.
I think if you don't wanna see things, you need to not watch anything. I mean,
Yeah, not go on YouTube at all, not go
yeah,
anywhere.
no, yeah, just don't go down. I know people. I had a couple people earlier in the season ask me about Kotri. I'm like, I can't tell you if he's coming back or not. I was waiting for him to come back so we could talk about it. But yeah, I do like they brought him back. I wish he was there more often. But again, it's kind of like Smiley. If he's there all the time, then it doesn't have the same. It doesn't mean the same thing, I guess. Um, Dieter said it could give worms for a future Man in Yellow. I don't know. There was
Mhm.
also the whole, my blood is your blood,
Yeah.
um,
Mhm.
type of thing. Didn't Dieter says didn't watch the trailer, but the images suck. Excuse me. There has been images. I did see pictures. It doesn't affect me as much because I don't like it's not a spoiler to me. So when I see something, I don't necessarily think, "Ooh, I shouldn't see this" or whatever. But yeah, it is hard to avoid in this day and age. But at least they're not as I'll just say one thing, at least they're not as bad as AMC is with them announcing things. Because it's like with Walking Dead when they would announce when a person was leaving. So just,
Yeah.
at least they don't do that on
Uh-huh.
this. Um, and there she is where she gets cut. And he takes care of her finger and he's like, it's not that bad. And then he goes to get a rag and she's like, I'm gonna put it in the drink. I question, I thought wouldn't you see it, but it does disappear. You can't see it
Yeah.
later.
Well, you put stuff in alcohol like that, it's gonna dissipate.
Mm, that's true. But I would think like you would taste something. But then again, he said it has kick. And I guess it would probably just taste like sort of metallic. And I don't think he had tasted that bottle yet, right? Like this was
Yeah.
like new and poured.
And it could be metallic stuff in the water. It could be
Yeah.
just the way the
Yeah.
water is.
Yeah, that's true too.
And plus he's
Um,
really drunk, so probably wouldn't even
yeah,
notice.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think so far, at least, unless I've missed something, people have been pretty good about the chat not putting any trailer information in. Because we don't want, yeah. So if you've seen the trailer, which I'm assuming is out by now, please don't talk about it in the chat. Save it for Discord spoiler channel, although we haven't had it yet today, but I'm just saying. I think people have been pretty good about that. So all right. So then we have this scene with Randall and Bacta. I like at least the other characters are in it a little bit, I guess. They're not really enough in it, but again, it's such a big ensemble, it's hard to get everybody in it. But
Yeah.
yeah, as I said earlier,
I just
what?
thought the scene with Randall, the scene was like, well, Randall has to have something to do.
Yeah, let's just stick them in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to know, B. It's really hard to know.
He
And the
actually
thing
had
is,
that one good line about Elgin though, too. So
yeah,
there was that.
yeah, I like the part about Elgin. But yeah, it's hard to know because it's live. Like to some extent, there's only so much you can do, but I can say don't do it. Um, so anyway, I was going to say again, I like that they're making Randall be a nicer person, and especially when he did not like Donna before, right? But he's still like, oh, is she going to be okay? Let me help you, and I appreciate he's helping her. He's being a good kid. All right. So then we have Sarah and Julie, which we kind of talked about this, them painting the room purple. And Sarah talks about it being normal. And this is where they talk about missing normal things. They talk about the candy, the donuts. We talked about this earlier.
Mhm.
The point of it is that Julie has a story about her father taking her for donuts when she was little, and that she went all the time, but then she told him after that she didn't want to go because she wanted to be with friends. And obviously now, she regrets that now that he's gone. Um, and that's when Sarah hugs her. Or no, actually, that isn't quite when Sarah hugs her. There's a little bit more before that first. Where'd it go? Sarah asked her what she meant when she said she understood what she went through. And again, I don't think, as we said earlier, I do not think that these are the same things, but Julie's explanation is that something there convinced her that she could help her father, like she could go back to the day it happened and save him. And she's like, that can't happen, right? Like she wants some, I guess, somebody to tell her, yes, it can happen, but she isn't validated because she just hugs her. But then again, I could understand her not thinking that could happen. Um, but yeah, I still don't see how that's any way like what happened to Sarah, but I mean, like, I get her connection, like, she's saying this place lied to me, and I believed it, I guess is what Julie's trying to say because Sarah listened to whatever it is that talked to her. Um, but I don't know that I equate them as the same thing, um, but I agree, Lucas, it was a nice moment, and I did, very much enjoy the 2 of them together, in the scene.
Yeah.
Let's see,
I don't know if she'll encourage Julie to do the story walking or not.
it would be nice, but I don't think
I
she
mean, I
will.
know she does it again, at least
Yeah.
once.
Well, at this point, she hasn't said anything. Sometimes I see people's quotes and I go to put them up, and I don't know if I put them up or I missed who it was from because I was going to say I saw Papa Socks was here a little bit ago, and I swear I was going to put it up, and I'm like thinking, did I put it up? And I just didn't. Oh, okay. I was going to say I knew I seen something from Papa Socks here. Hope okay. Only strange scene for me was the Boyd Donna scene. Reminded me of the Jack Charlie scene in Lost with the dead reviving event. You are not the first person that I've heard say that. I've heard other people say that. So yeah, it kind of does. But there's a lot you can compare, I feel like, in this show to Lost. And a lot that we do compare to Lost. Hi, Susie. Welcome. All right. So yeah, I don't know. It would be nice maybe if she tells Sarah about the story walking, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like she seems like she's given up here, and I hope not. I really hope not. I think the story walking is such an important part of the show. I need more of it. We know she's eventually going to do it again, but we need more.
I think so. Because a lot of
Well,
practice. You need a lot of practice. But
she does.
then the opposite of the practice would be she's having, seizures.
True.
That's
Well, we know she's got to do it at least one more time because we know she's got to see her father when he gets his throat slit. So, but I hope there's more than that. I want to see it. To me, the story walking was one of the most interesting things of recent
yes.
of the show. So that's why it's annoying, I think.
It's really set up to be a big thing.
Yeah, you're funny, Susie. I know you never compare anything to Lost. It's like I never compare anything to X-Files either. So yeah. So then everybody's waiting to find out what's going on. There is a very short scene where Ellis talks to his father about his wife. Really nothing of interest other than he says he thinks she needs it. It's not really that relevant. To be fair, a lot of the stuff with the 2 of them haven't been that relevant, but they're trying at least to put them in, I guess. All right. So Christy goes out so Boyd can talk to Donna. And you can see better shot of that picture.
Yeah.
Of her and her sister. Okay. So Boyd talks to her and starts yelling at her again, saying that he can't do it without her and to cut the shit and open her eyes. He's not saying goodbye to her. And there's the crooked picture. I think the IV is more important. I think it would have been easier maybe to hang it on the bedpost, but All
it has
right.
to be up pretty high, though.
Does it? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm trying to think of how high.
Well, for gravity to work.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking like in the hospital that it isn't quite that high, but it's probably got like a pump thing on it too in the hospital that's a little different. So, all right. So in the middle of that, we have actually before this scene, he said he sees Cautry, but I didn't have a picture of it. Where he asks what Boyd will do if she doesn't wake up, and he gets pissed that he asks him that. And the most important cooking scene you ever put on film. I like this scene though. I thought Susie, why is the picture so crooked? For the IV, for the IV. But I did like this shopping scene, and I think it's so funny. Like, Bacta's complaining, like he was nice and offered to help you, and you're complaining he's chopping him wrong. Come on. But I think it's more just she's treating him like everybody else. Just like I think that was awesome with Elgin. She's kind of like, come help. And he's like, that's okay. I'm just staying here. She's like, no, you're gonna come help. Like,
yeah, I didn't ask. I wasn't asking.
yeah, it wasn't asked. But I feel like it's almost like the same thing with what happened with Sarah, with her being like, I've since I've known you, you've been a good person. And I think it's just like her saying,
Yeah.
you're just like everybody else. I'm not going to give you special treatment. Come help.
Yeah, Randall's back in the Colony House too.
Yeah, that's true. He wasn't in call. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. He wasn't in Colony House before. But I think Elgin appreciated it. He seemed to like that she was there. So Kaiser's right though. It could have been anyone else, but that's just because they aren't giving her enough to do.
Yeah, they give everybody one scene, it seems, in this one.
Yeah, it seems like they're just trying to fit everybody in. There's not, there's only so much they can do. Okay, so Boyd is, upset about Donna and is still trying to figure out what to do. And there's Cautry. And this is where Boyd asks Cautry if he remembers the night he came to town with his wife and son. And Cautry says he's pretty sure Abby wanted to shoot him. Mm-hmm. Which actually is kind of ironic if you think about what happened later. Boyd tells him that they were scared, that he got them scared running into the middle of the street like a lunatic, taking him down the bunker. But he says that Donna and Dale were down there, and that the first question that Donna asked them was if any of them snored. And this was like something really strange and irrelevant to ask. So he's like, what are you talking about? And because he was thinking, we just heard monsters screeching and you're talking about snoring. But Donna looked at him calmly and said, if you snore, they'll find us. So like in the middle of all that chaos, he's thought, she was the voice in the back of his head. And he thought, this person knows how to survive, like that they've thought of this, that in all this, that's what she's thinking of. So we can survive if she knows what she's doing. And that thought got him through the night on the scariest night of his life. And he doesn't think he ever told her that. I really like that story because I don't know, like it's interesting. Like it is something you don't think about, but it is something that could get you killed. But it also makes me wonder, like, if you can't not snore, do you have to sleep during the day? Like I think we had talked in chat about it last night. Like, what if you have sleep apnea or something and you do snore and you can't help it?
I'm really surprised they don't sleep during the day.
Yeah, I kind of am too. Now that you said that, that would make a lot more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. I mean, most of them slept during the day. A couple of people were watchers. I mean, it makes a hell of a lot more sense.
Yeah, because they could be watching. The only and do like what Randall did, right? Like pay attention to them at least. Although at least they could have shifts. Yeah. But the only reason I say maybe not is because it would make me wonder, like, if they do stuff at night, would you be more scared that they might do something while you're sleeping? Whereas in the day, they're not going to do anything to you, which actually, yeah, that makes sense. Then why wouldn't you sleep during the day? That does make more sense. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's,
because you wouldn't be able to sleep at night either, because you got to sleep with one eye open.
Yeah. Yeah. They should at least
have a meeting about that.
Yeah. And have like people taking shifts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Say, I agree, B. It makes me feel like that too. Like always take your pets and your family with you everywhere you go. Yeah, and if I ever see a tree in the middle of the road, I'm gonna like climb over it, and or no, like go take your car and like go in the grass and go around the tree, right? Don't ever turn around and go the other way. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many things you think about, but I did really like that story though, because I think it encompasses who Donna is, right? Like it just shows who she is. Just a reminder for anybody who doesn't know or hasn't heard our show before, that on Wednesday night at 7 Eastern, we're going to have on Liz Saunders to hear her talk about this. So you can ask her all your questions about what happened to Donna or what you think is going to happen to Donna and all that good stuff. So make sure that you join us then for that live conversation. And also, we will have Julia Doyle played Sophia. That will be up probably within the next couple days, the first half of that. And please make sure you like the video and subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. I know there's a lot more people in here live than have even liked the video yet or disliked. So I know not everybody's clicked that.
That has an opinion either way.
Have an opinion. Hey, I've said before, it still helps the algorithm. I mean, I prefer you like it. I would prefer you to like the thing, but it does help either way. So
you can have an argument in the comments section too, and it helps.
Yeah, talking in the comments as opposed to the chat.
Have lively debates.
Help. And I actually am curious, if you don't like the stream, that's okay. I mean, you're entitled to that, but would really appreciate it if you tell us why. That's odd. Can you change your vote? I asked because
I think so.
Okay. I only asked because it said 8 dislikes a little bit ago, and now it says 3. So maybe that means people who didn't like it changed their mind. And if that's the case, then I'm glad you changed your mind and you like it.
I know the only thing I could think of besides, the obvious is that some people don't like the amount of ads.
Yeah. Well, I have it. All I can say is I have it on low ads. I'm not sure how else to do it. If I have it on no ads, it's hard to have any
But
show.
I've also known other channels that they set it on low ads and YouTube just did what it wanted to do.
Yeah, it might be. But all I can say is I do have it on low conservative ads. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm, doing what I can. But but anyway, if you don't like the stream, that's okay. But please do tell us why you don't, if you don't, so we know what to do to make it better. And we'll try to do it. So I guess I think sometimes it depends on your account too. At least I've read that, like on your like the way you watch things, because that's interesting. For some of you in the chat are saying you got no ads, and others of you are saying you got a lot of ads. So that's kind of interesting. I don't control that. All I can say is I have it on low, so I can't, beyond that.
I think YouTube is kind of like a beast on its own.
Yeah. And Susie never sees ads either. So yeah, it might just honestly depend on your watch habits, or I don't know. I'm not YouTube. So if you got a lot, I apologize. I don't want you to have them, but I can't control that. I would like, just me, if they don't have double hearts, but that would be nice if you could put double hearts up. No, but please, yes, do something. Leave us a comment or a like. And also, if you're not a member of Discord, please make sure you do join it so you can join our watch parties that we have for From and everything else. And also so when there's interviews and things like that coming up. And like I said, Julia's interview will be up soon. And if you are a survivor or above tier on our membership for YouTube, you'll get it a little bit earlier before everybody else too. So there is that. All righty. Yeah, press like, you filthy. Put in the box if you don't. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program now that I went off topic. I also remember thinking, sometimes you just think of odd things. Like my other thought was like, I'm glad they took her shoes off.
Well, comfort level,
It made her comfortable. No, I don't know, for whatever reason I noticed that and the crooked painting I noticed. All right, so where'd we go? I lost where I was. Okay, so yeah, he's talking to her, trying to get her to wake up. And he's, like he said, he never told her about the snoring thing. He said they bumped heads in the beginning. She made it clear she didn't like him. And Kadri asked what changed. And he says he'd like to think they got to know each other a little. And he says that he doesn't know what he'll do if Donna doesn't wake up. And, I like that. And it's also really nice, I feel like, to have like a really strong friendship in a show that obviously it isn't a romance thing, and we don't want it to be. I don't mean that, but it's nice that to have kind of like this kind of friendship, because it's different friendship, and it's an interesting friendship because they weren't friends before. So I like their friendship. And yeah, I liked Boyd in this episode and how he acted, and that he's like, I can't do this without you, because he's kind of like the de facto leader, right? But he clearly looks to her to make decisions too and to help him make decisions. So I think they're kind of like a duo there in that sense. I can't lay my back with things straight. Yeah, a lot of people can't lay flat on their back for lots of reasons. I don't know. I usually can't lay flat very long. They get dizzy after a while.
Yeah.
So, but I guess she was able to do it for the scene at any rate. You gotta wonder though, like if somebody has that issue, like what does they do as like an actor, you know? But I guess probably she wasn't there. It was actually probably relaxing. She just got to take a nap, right? I'm actually curious to know what it was like filming
What the
that scene.
process is? What did she think so?
Yeah, well, I would think it would be hard to stay still. That's what I always ask. Like, it's got to be hard just to lay there and do nothing, right?
Yeah,
But
it probably is the hardest acting, right?
yeah, I can't do anything. You got to try not to breathe a lot and all that the stuff. But anyway, she does suddenly wake up. But before that, because I skipped a part by mistake, sorry. Whenever he's talking to Khatri, he says it's time to get the people home. It may not be a moment to bring this up, but Jade already told you what you need to do. And he's like, are you going to ignore that over a missing door? And he does get mad and say, this isn't the moment. It is like weird that he brings it up then. And this is where I question, like, is Khatri real? Is Khatri just part of his psyche? And I know there's varying different answers to that, but he does seem to be unaware of certain events and asking Boyd questions in this
Mhm.
episode, which makes me believe it's less likely it's all in Boyd's head. But it also makes me kind of think, in a way, if it is, it's interesting because does that mean that like part of Boyd is like saying, even if something happens to Donna, you still got to take care of this other problem. So,
Yeah,
but
it's interesting because I thought that maybe Donna being the state she was might see Padre. I mean, the father
mm,
Padre.
mm, that would be really
But that didn't happen either.
well. No, but who's to say the same thing of like you said earlier of like, could she have seen something when she quote unquote died? I mean, what if
Yeah.
you really don't hear him talk, right? All she says, I think, is Boyd, what happened, or something to that effect. So yeah,
Mm.
what if she wakes up and she says, I saw Father Godfrey, or I saw Jim, or
Or I heard you talking to him. I heard his voice.
oh yeah, I heard you talking to Khatri. She may even just be like, I heard you talking to somebody and just be
Yeah,
like,
I
who
don't
are you
know.
talking
Something.
to? Yeah. Khatri's ghost is confusing the hell out of me. I have no idea what to think of him now. Me either, Susie. But Bill says Donna does not look like a mole in this shot. She does not. She does not. I don't think I've ever thought she was a mole, but you know.
Yeah.
I want to start a poll here. Hold on. Do you think Khatri is all in Boyd's head? Now, I know there's varying degrees in this, but rather than taking 5 minutes to write a more detailed poll, I'm just doing, do you think it's in his head or not? Meaning, do you think Khatri's real or do you think he's not real? So that's why I put that for the poll. It's very simple. Did it go? Yeah, it did. So yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. Susie says, do her nightmares come alive though? Because she was definitely brain dead for minutes. That's what we discussed earlier. I don't know, Susie, but I do like the idea of that storyline. Golden Child said, it's Boyd's subconscious projecting Father Khatri's opinions he needs help with. I do think that's possible, but as I said, I kind of question why was he asking Boyd things? Like he didn't know certain things because he should know everything Boyd does, right? If he's in his head. So I feel like after this episode, I'm not sure. I'm very confused. I think Ghost Khatri is Boyd's doubt, says Bill. Kaiser thinks Khatri's trapped. Maze thinks Boyd struggling with the whole I'm changing. Is this connected to his power he seems to be exhibiting? It's important to turn him over, killing him. I'm not sure what you mean about the second part of that. I'm not sure if that was autocorrected. I think Maze is saying when Boyd says he's changing, could it be that he's getting actual powers that brought Donna back? Which I had not thought of is interesting. Okay, let's see. Bill said, I think she was brain dead for about 5 minutes after her pulse stopped. Maybe somebody who knows more medical can answer this question a little more succinct. Oh, thank you, just me. I appreciate that. We got a new member. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate all of you guys. I need to start making some more exclusive stuff for members here. So I'm curious from somebody who has more medical knowledge. I don't think that when somebody's pulse stops, that necessarily means they don't have brain activity, but I could be wrong because like I said, I don't know anything medical. Christy said she might have, lost brain activity, but I feel like, I don't know, like he was still giving her CPR. So they also didn't have a machine hooked up at that point. So even if they didn't feel her pulse, it could have been really low. She could have still had a pulse. So I don't know that that necessarily is, is brain damage, but I don't know. Bill says consciousness and measurable brain electrical activity can persist anywhere from seconds to an hour after the heart stops. However, irreversible brain damage or clinical death usually begins within 4 to 6 minutes without CPR. But again, she had CPR, although it does make me question. He gave her CPR. He did not give her like breath. He didn't blow into her mouth. And I don't know if they just didn't want to do that for the scene, because I didn't really think about that, but he gave her compressions. He never breathed into her mouth, which kind of questions me or makes me question, like, if you're giving somebody CPR, isn't that part of CPR? But again, I don't know. I'm not trained in any of that, so I'm not the person to ask. I honestly don't know, but I do agree with what Susie said. They can't tell for sure because she wasn't hooked up. So, yeah. Mouth to mouth is no longer part of CPR. Okay. See, I said you guys know. That's what I was just asking when you were gone. Because I thought they had to give you air. Like, even if they use one of the bags, I thought that that's part of CPR. B says the new training says compressions are important. The CPR method has changed. Okay, thank you guys. Susie says the same thing. That's why I said I don't know, because I've never taken any of that.
Oh,
training.
you never gotten a card?
No, probably should, but no, I have not.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I have no idea. I honestly don't know what I would do if I saw somebody having a heart attack. I feel like, I wouldn't know what to do. I probably should know. Probably everybody should know. But yeah, I didn't know that. So I guess the compressions are more important. Either way, whether she had a pulse, they thought, or not, the people that said she didn't have a pulse, except for when Mariel finally got there, was like Tabitha and Boyd, who are also not medical people. I mean, I could see that if I said to somebody they don't have a pulse, like, that doesn't mean they don't have a pulse, because I know nothing of what I'm doing. So until Mariel said she didn't have a pulse, I don't even necessarily believe that's the case. Anon says it causes brain injury for certain. I was in a brain injury support group. There were heart attack survivors in the group. Thank you, Papa Socks. I'm glad you enjoy it. Now I'm struggling with trying to see if we should do vertical too, because Kelly made me think about vertical, and I'm like, shit, because now I don't know what to do, because I'd have to get rid of half of the animations to make it work, because you can't have two layouts at once. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm glad we're talking about this, because this actually makes me think I really do need to get some kind of training, because my mother has AFib and is having heart issues, and I'm thinking I really should know CPR, and I never really thought about it. So I'm glad to think about it now, because that is something probably really everybody should know. And yeah, I didn't even know that. The amount of medical knowledge I have is what I see on TV, which is probably not very much. It's not good to go by what you learn on TV. When we breathe out, it's not good oxygen. Well, it's carbon dioxide. Okay. Well, it's nice to know, guys. So thank you. I'm learning here. But either way, the truth is, we don't know. Did she die? Did she not die? I feel like that's really matter of opinion right now. And clearly different people have different opinions. So let's see. I'm trying to see how do I see how many people voted? It doesn't tell me. It just says 62% of you so far say
It says
No, we
16 votes on my end. 16 votes.
was it? I don't know why. Oh, wait, there it is. Yeah, 16
Yeah.
votes total. 62% say no. Caudry's not in Boyd's head. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, but that's what we got so far.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
didn't put an other.
No, well, there's a yes or a no. I don't know that there is an other for that.
Maybe.
Maybe. I guess there's a maybe. Okay, that's fair. So anyway, back to the story here. Okay. So she wakes up and they don't know again whether she'll be yes, I hope you're recertified, not re-rectified. That's hilarious. All right. So we find out Donna is awake, although that again, as we're saying, does not mean Donna's okay, but Donna is awake. But she better be okay. That's all I gotta say. Regardless of whether she was dead, she better be okay now. Because that would be like really cruel, right? If they did like 2 fake outs and then did something. No. That would be awful. They better not.
Yeah, she just falls down the stairs and dies.
Don't even joke about it, Scarlett. It's not good. Don't joke.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, I know. Okay, so anyway, it's so interesting though. Sorry, I'm going off topic again, but I was just gonna say it is kind of interesting though how you get attached to characters, isn't it? Because it's like they're not real, right? I mean, we know they're not real, but you're still like, no, you can't.
Real?
They're not real. No, but I mean, you do. You get so freaking attached to characters, and it can be depressing if they kill a character you like. So yeah.
Well, it's kind of depressing when Yellow Jackets has its final season because those are my girls.
Yeah, well, I think when shows end, it's depressing to begin with if it's a show you like. So it can be hard. All right. So Henry fixes her cut, but while he goes to get the rag, she drips blood into his drink. I already said that. But he drinks it and he says, "That's some kick." And then Sophia says to him, "I had the strangest thought I can't shake. We're trapped in it." Oh, that reminds me. Sorry, I just want to say there was a joke earlier we skipped because I haven't been reading religiously from the recap, but we skipped earlier the joke where she says something like, "Why is there, what does she say? Why is there a bar in the gas station?" And he says, like, "Why is there a gas station in a town you can't leave?" I love that. That was great. That was great. So anyway, she says, "We're trapped in town we can't escape from, surrounded by monsters that come from the forest at night, and none of it feels real. Have you ever wondered if it's all a dream?" So what do you think about that? I think I've heard a lot of people have the same thought of what they're predicting. So let me ask you, because I haven't heard from you say it. What do you think about that?
I think this is Abby all over again. I think that she's gonna try to get him to do what Abby did, and maybe kill people in the town, while leaving on a jet plane because she sang that song about a boat, and I think it's interesting that they're all like things you travel with.
Mm. I think the same thing. I automatically thought the same thing. My only question is, and I had posed this in the watch party. My only question with that is, does it make sense because it's during the same cycle that's happening again? Like, why would it happen so close together? That's my only thought. But otherwise, I think it totally seems like Abby. I agree with you, but I don't know. It just
or Martin too, as Catastrophe. Catastrophe, yeah, it's a good name. It says.
Oh, Catastrophe. Yeah, it is. That's true. He did say that. I forgot about that. You're right. Let's see. After they took Tian Shen, it's open season on any character. Yes. Honestly, if Donna dies, especially for no good reason, I'll lose interest in the show. Some people say I'm a fake fan because I feel that way about certain characters in the show. I can understand feeling that way. I don't know that I would be able to quit watching it, even if they killed like my favorite character, but I can understand feeling that way because I feel like there'd be a big part of me that would want to quit watching it. I don't think I would, but I feel like there's a part of me that would feel that way. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't think that you're a fake fan.
No, I definitely don't think she's a big fan.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I have to go back to Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets sometimes cruel to my girls, but I keep coming back to it, even though they've been really cruel to my girls.
Yeah, but no, I can see feeling that way. I don't think that makes you fake. I can definitely see
Yeah,
feeling that way.
I don't like it, but I feel like they have a story to tell, and
Mm,
I'd be happier if the showrunners told the story the way they want to tell it, as opposed to catering to what the fans want.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I have to say though, I've seen shows where like they've killed a dog and I've been like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah,
Um, didn't mean I didn't like it, but it's pissed me off enough when they've done that. But at the same time, like, okay, they killed Queequeg. I got to go back to X-Files, my favorite show ever, right? They killed
yeah,
Queequeg, cute little doggy, pissed me the hell off, and I was so pissed at Chris Carter, but I kept watching.
yeah.
I don't think that would have made me not a fan if I quit watching, but
Mhm.
yeah, but I definitely don't think that makes you not a fan if you feel like that. Um, Just Me said, has there been any other songs from the show that include modes of transportation?
Yeah, Last Train to Clarksville. We
Okay.
gotta get out of this place. It's not
Mm,
it's
kind of.
not saying anything like that, but it's like literally we gotta get out of this place.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, there's also, I mean, it wasn't part of the song, but the title "Merrily We Roll Along" is kind of reminiscent of Row Your Boat. It isn't from
yeah.
that, but that made me think of
Well,
that.
it is. It's kind of both of those, that and London Bridge.
Yeah.
Row your
Um,
boat. Pony on the boat.
Yeah,
Uh,
which also, I mean, you could I wouldn't say a bridge is a mode of transportation, but it's connected to transportation, even if you think of London Bridge, right?
mhm.
Susie says they had me back to Faye now. The threshold ritual, mushrooms, the way we're in a dream, forgetful space, and boy in white, Ethan aged 3 years in a week.
Mhm.
Like tall Walt, Susie.
And also Susie says trucking, which makes sense because they
Trucking,
took
yeah.
a long strange trip that's been from that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Forget about that trucking, you're right. And that's good to know, B. I'm glad you're gonna stick with it no matter what. But yeah, they better not do anything to Donna. That's all I'm gonna say.
Especially
Boyd,
now.
yeah, especially now. Boyd should be yellow. Get this man some more mushrooms after
Yeah.
seeing that basement. Yeah. Um, there should be no more doubt, at least from Boyd from now on. Yes, I think after the door, there shouldn't be, he shouldn't doubt. Blitzkrieg says, I think the massacre was supposed to happen with Abby, but Boyd is an anomaly and stopped it. He's a wrench in the
Mm,
cycle. That is interesting. Although I question if they were all shot, that isn't really torn apart. But then again, the torn apart could be literally from the monsters and like they all ripped them apart after they were dead. I don't
mhm.
know. That is a good point, Blitzkrieg. Yeah, trucking. We said that trucking. All right. So yeah, I'm worried about Henry at this point for sure. All right. Then we have Boyd outside again. Also, that truck or whatever there, that's probably what Kenny used um,
Yeah.
to get in. Hey, MGM, did you get my message? I need to know what you want me to send to Hannah. They wouldn't let me send a link. So just a reminder. Okay. So Boyd goes outside and get to see the greenhouse there a little bit. And he's a little upset that Cautry like won't give him any time, and he's still
So
like,
nobody sees him ranting around by himself behind the screen house.
no, apparently not. Boyd talks to him a lot, and nobody's ever said anything. So, but yeah, I would love if next week Donna's like, "Who are you talking to?" Or "I heard Cautry," or something to that
Yeah,
effect.
like I heard your Father Cadre's voice would be interesting.
That would be really interesting because it could even play both ways, right? Like she could not believe it and think it was totally a dream, and he could be like, "Well, what if it
Mm,
wasn't?" And they could go back and forth.
yeah.
Um, if you get high enough, even a nightmare can look like a dream.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
sure
wondering if you're meaning that as a play on words, Susie. I'm guessing probably.
maybe the
Uh,
showrunners mean it as a play on words.
they might, yeah, they might. So maybe they need some more mushrooms, right? I gotta say, it kind of makes me think like if it's so miserable there because of all these monsters, maybe they should all just take mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
they'd be a little bit less upset, right? That could be a not bad thing. Chill everybody out a bit. Okay. So he says it's sorry about Roger. And Boyd's like, can't you give me a minute? And Cautry's like, sure, take as much time as you need. It's not like there's murderous dolls that climbed out of the lake and attacked people. So that was funny. But Boyd asks him if what Tabitha said about people's fears or nightmares becoming part of the forest after they die is true. Now, this confuses me, like why he asked, like, especially kind of the back and forth of, is he real? Is he not real? Is he part of Boyd's psyche? Whatever. Boyd asks him this, and it kind of surprised me that he gave him an answer, regardless of whether he is or not, because, okay, if he's part of Boyd, then that was Boyd's answer and it's irrelevant. If he's not, is he actually helping him and giving him an answer?
Yeah.
Or is he lying? I guess, I mean, for all we know, he could be. But yeah, I question, like, if he is real, how would he even know that unless his nightmare came true? I mean, I think we had, I don't know if this was in here or the watch party, but had mentioned something about, like, you know, maybe his fear was not, I think I had said part of that too. I forget who I was talking to though, about like maybe his fear was not moving on and going to heaven or something because he's religious, you know. So like maybe that's part of why he's still walking around. I don't know. But I don't know how he would know the answer to that if he's not like around watching what's happening, which he seems not to be since he was asking Boyd questions earlier. So that, yeah, that just adds to my confusion a bit there. Oh, yeah. Boyd's fear is the dead coming back as ghosts, but Boyd is not dead, so I don't know.
No, it's just, I think, I don't know. I think he kind of likes Abby being a presence, though, at times.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it could help him. It could not help him. I don't know, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it seems like Cautry's trying to be helpful at any rate in these scenes. But he does say he thinks, yes, they're part of the nightmares come back. But when Boyd says the tip of the spear, and again, Cautry's like, what? He says that Martin said come out at night or the tip of the spear.
It's just the tip of the spear. You gotta say
tip
that.
Tip of the spear. Tip of the spear. So Boyd does ask him if the bones of the kids are in the tunnels, and Cautry says he doesn't know. And Boyd's like, well, what the hell, the fuck, whatever he says, I don't know. What do you know? And he's like, they're running out of time. The fact that he says that they're running out of time makes me think of the boy in white, because he said that, you know. And makes me wonder.
I think that might change things a little bit, you know, because that's what bothered me with the first scene. It's like all these people are like, we don't have any more time. We don't have any more time. And then Boyd is like, you know, angry at Jade. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're running out of time. But it makes me think maybe it's the same entity as the boy in white, you know? I don't know. Susie says it appears Martin was definitely the man in yellow, I think, but what does that mean for the blood stuff? Why aren't Boyd and Ellis shapeshifters, or could they be to time? I don't know. I've said before, I think Martin is Martin. I think people got too focused on who is Martin, but that's my own opinion. Maybe running out of time because someone's about to wake up from a dream. I don't know, but it better not all be a dream.
I thought the showrunner said it wasn't a dream.
They said it wasn't, so I'm gonna have to believe them and hope that that's true. But anyway, Cautry won't answer that, but he does say they're running out of time. And Boyd asks how he's supposed to take people down in the tunnels if he doesn't even know what Jade saw is real. And this is where Cautry says sometimes you have to take things on faith. So it makes sense he's the one saying that, if it's him. But Boyd says, no, not something like this. And he goes and gets the hammer, mallet, whatever you want to call it. And
looks at Roger for a little bit.
Yeah. I like this shot there of him walking with the hammer.
Yeah.
I call it a mallet. It's really a hammer. He goes up and he starts smashing the wall. I don't know whether he is swearing at the wall, if he's swearing at Jade, if he's swearing at the town. I don't know what
A
the
little bit
hell
of
he's
everything. A little bit
a
of
little bit
column
of
A, a little bit
everything,
of
but he's
column
like,
B, a little
"You
bit of
want
column
me
C.
to leave you?" Yeah, he's like,
Boyd's just getting it out. He's getting it out.
yeah, he is. He's screaming, he's swearing, he's getting in his anger out. It's like the rage room, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, he's like, if you want me to believe this, show me a dang door. And Jade comes running in because he's the only one that's paying any attention, and
Mhm.
comes running in, and like he breaks a
Yeah,
hole in the
nobody
wall.
else hears this, obviously.
Nope, nobody hears it. I don't know why I was thinking like Donna reacted, and I think I made that up, and that was me thinking that because I don't think she did, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it because he wasn't in the room with her when he did. That doesn't even make sense. I don't know. Maybe I fell asleep watching it, the watch party or something, and thought that. It's a cycle. The only real query the man in yellow gets shaken over is when something happens that is not part of the program. The crows at the funeral, the idea that Jane and Tabby came in the same car. Well, they didn't, but yes, she does ask something about that. That's
Yeah.
his jeans are blue, but he took off his blazer. I'm assuming you're meaning Boyd. Yeah. I don't know. I'll be honest. I've kind of stopped looking at the color of their clothes just because everybody wears yellow, and I swear they're doing it to troll us. That's why I'm saying that. Only for that reason, as I feel like they're trolling us too much.
Just strong color theory out the window.
No, just with their clothes, because it's like constant. I mean, like Boyd and Ethan are always wearing yellow. So I don't know. Also, I just hit
I
me.
mean, you could say that like Julie and Sarah are painting a wall that's green and earthy to a more spiritual color, purple.
Yeah, true.
Might
No, I'm
affect
not.
them.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying all color theory. I'm just saying with the clothes, I
Does
kind
the
of
yellow?
no. Well, just the clothes. I meant the clothes, but yeah, I guess specifically the yellow. It just seems like it's overkill now. But
Everybody
it
has
also
a little man in yellow inside them.
maybe, but it also I just realized now is that we were asking about like was it the lighting, was Jade's shirt yellow, and I just realized like that animation's still there, and I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, the animation's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that has the color. Which also reminds me, I never changed it back to Boyd. I intended to and forgot.
Oh well, that's kind of Jade. There's Jade in this one.
There is Jade in this
You
one.
gonna
I
do a
probably should.
Donna? You gonna do a Donna
Yes.
for the?
If I had had time, I was going to do Donna before tonight, but I will have it before Wednesday for sure.
Cool.
Let's see. Seems like he's yelling at Cautry, who tells him to take it on faith, but then he kind of gets used to it, kind of uses it to get his wawas out. Bit of a rage room to take out his frustration. He does. Oh, and they're talking about the sledgehammer. See, I don't remember seeing that in a promo, but again, I don't look for the promos. The only promo I need
Yeah.
to look for is where they used my name again and find out, because I never
Oh
did find
yeah.
out. All they said was it was a national ad or something, and I gotta see if they can tell where, because I never found out where it was.
Yeah.
All right. So the point is they break through and they stare, and it takes us a second. We get to see their reactions first, and then there is a door. Kind of looks like that says SS a little bit. It's just me.
Says what?
I said it kind of looks like it says SS, but I think it's just me noticing weird shapes in the rock. So I wouldn't take that as anything other than I just saw something weird.
Yeah.
But Jade's like, what the hell? Like he's shocked too, which is actually kind of funny because Jade's the one that believed this, and even he's shocked it is actually there. He's like, oh, like shit, it's really there. So yeah, there we go. So there is a door. Let me go back to the Cautry thing. I'm going to end the poll. 39% of 18 votes think yes, Cautry's in Boyd's head. 61% think no. And I probably should have put an I don't know, because I don't honestly know what I think. But that's the end of the poll. But yeah, they found a door. So what does that mean? What are they going to use it for? Why was it
behind it?
Sorry, what?
What's behind that door?
What's behind the door? Why was it walled off? I'm more concerned with why was it stoned off? Like it scared me. Undid it. So yeah.
I suppose we'll figure this out next episode, unless they just skip this for the next episode.
I hope not. Although if they did like all story walking instead, I'd be okay with that.
Oh yeah, me too. Definitely.
Been in that sacrifice room several times, several people, but somehow finding a door to get there is going to be the way to save everyone. Yeah, I kind of wonder because they have been there a lot. Like, why do they need this door? Unless this isn't, I mean, we know this goes to the root cellar, then to the caves, at least according to Jade's vision. It kind of makes me wonder, like, if there's something else and like it's not just, to the chamber and there's something on the way, maybe that's important. I don't know. Um, but clearly the door is, yeah, the door is important. They found the door. Yeah, this was like a ending where you're like, no, I want to know what's behind it. But I gotta say, I'm glad they at least revealed there was a door. I feel like they could have been really mean and had him smash in the wall and then ended it, which would have
Just
looked
looked in here and you didn't
yeah,
see what he
had
saw.
this shot. Yeah, exactly. Had this shot and not showed us if there was a door. That would have sucked more. So I appreciate they at least showed us that there was a door. Felt like something was crawling me. Yeah, so I don't know. Any more thoughts about the door? Or really about anything?
I just feel there's gonna be something not so great behind it that they're gonna have to work with or against.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm more concerned with the fact it was stoned over.
I feel like the Sophia and Henry thing isn't gonna come to a good end.
Yes, I agree there. I agree there. Probably walled off to keep the monsters out. Having a way out of the tunnels directly into Colony House is problematic. At least there's a door, so Talisman will seal it, but it's still problematic. But see, that's again like what I question. Like, if the tunnels are underneath them and they can come up through the tunnels technically anyway, like, do they only need one door block? Because there's more than one door at Colony House, right? I don't think they have like a talisman on every single door that exists. Yeah, I don't know. Unless the plan will involve using it to enact Boyd's old plan to trap the monsters, maybe. But yes, there's a basement door. That's what I'm saying. There's all kinds of doors. We have a tiny fairy door that looks just like that. Well, that's a big one if it's a door. Yes, the church has a door to the basement. I think we've seen the church or the door that was in the church before. They never went through it,
because that's where Sarah went through.
Yeah, I remember them showing it, and yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing or both, or yeah, I don't know. But we have 4 episodes left. So we are over halfway through the season now, unfortunately. Yeah. So we got a bit left. All right. Well, anything else?
I wonder if Sarah and Julie are going to talk to each other for the positive or the negative. Or she's going to help her story walk. You think Sarah might help her?
I don't know. That would be kind of cool. Although I like I said before, I like the stuff with Randall and Julie too. So I don't know that
Randall's kind of giving it up because he doesn't want her to hurt herself.
That's true. I could see Sarah would be more proactive maybe than Randall and less worried about that.
Or maybe Sarah will tell Julie more about what she sees,
Maybe, but since she didn't see the yellow suit, I don't know that it helps.
Will she tell somebody about this?
Maybe.
Even Sarah, hey, I did this thing and I saw a monster out during the day eating a liver. Should I tell somebody about this?
She says, yes, tell everybody. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
No one remembers the fishbowl. I remember there was a drawing. I don't remember much about it.
Like a snow globe.
Oh, yeah. I do remember thinking there was a snow globe too, but I think that might be 2 different drawings. I don't remember for sure, but I mean, as I keep saying, I want to do some kind of breakdown at some point on all the drawings, but I'd have to find them because even though the pictures over the internet, I still have to go through and get screen captures to get clear pictures. Someday, if I have extra time, I'm so behind.
You put them in the right order, you'll know the story and you'll know how to get out.
It might. I definitely would like
it.
What?
That's what Ethan said.
When did Ethan say that?
Probably. I'm gonna guess 2nd season. I don't know exactly because he was like, all the drawings make a story, and it's like when he's at the table and he finds those kind of gross drawings, but then Tammy's kind of like, please don't look at those. But he's like, we just have to put these pictures in order, because if we put the pictures in order, then we'll know the story.
Okay, something like that. I thought
Yeah,
he didn't
I think
say
it's
that.
season one now that I think of it.
Yeah, but I don't think he said we'll get out. I think he said it tells a story. Yeah, I do remember him saying that.
Yeah,
I
but I
don't think
think it was along those lines. There was something said that, if we finish the story, then we'll know.
Yeah, it could imply that. I thought you
Could have
meant
been
coherent.
Megan's drawings too. I mean, I don't know.
Megan had drawings?
Megan, yeah, like one guy like Tabby brought them to the priest too.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. She
Yeah.
brought I forgot about that. Yeah.
I didn't know if that was like a mixed bag of drawings or just Victor's drawings or what that was.
I don't know. It was whatever was in the house, but
Yeah.
no, it was Sarah's house. Victor hid in as a kid, or always hid in as a kid, so I can't.
Yeah.
Do
I mean,
that.
she could be hiding here the whole time if she's a good, plays hide and
Mhm,
seek well. I just
mhm.
imagine Eloise's being places.
Yeah.
Just,
Whoa! I guess
just
whoever didn't like it started liking it. We got 100% now.
oh,
So thank you guys. I'm glad if you
amazing. Bring it
convinced and didn't
around.
like it, that you changed your mind. We appreciate it. If you guys can leave comments after the live is over too, that always really helps the algorithm. And I know a lot of you do, and I always appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else you have to add, Scarlett?
Uh, I mean, this is the things I always think of. I hope Acosta gets a clue, finds a clue.
Yeah, I hope
What
you.
are some of these other stories? A Gollum? I hope that Gollum gets animated somewhat soon. I mean, there's only 4 episodes here. I hope Smiley comes back. I mean, his whole like "you complete me" with Fatima, or the saying anything with the jam box over his head. In your eyes. I mean, there's eyes important to from.
Oh, that's funny.
Or she writes truth, like even the like Hebrew word truth that has an X, that has a LF, which looks like an X in the Hebrew language. It means truth, and to stop it, you take the X off of it, like an X marks the spot, and it means death, and it stops working. And
Yeah,
also
that.
the fact when golems are animated, they're kind of clunky and they're kind of a little stupid, and they won't. You have to give them very, very strict directions, or else they create chaos.
Okay, cool. I don't know. You said that fast, so I'm not sure if you were exactly saying what I thought you were, but I know in X-Files they erased the mark from its head and it made it quit. It made
Okay,
it
there's
die.
a Hebrew letter called Aleph. Aleph. Sorry, I'm really tired. And
That's okay.
it looks like an X. It looks vaguely like the X that Storywalker Fred has in the book.
Okay.
But if you put it with other letters in the word truth, there's a Aleph. I hope I'm saying this right. I'm so tired. Aleph there. The truth that you put on the golem animates the golem. To deactivate the golem, you take the aleph away, and the word that's remaining from truth is death.
Okay. Yes, that's what happened in X-Files. That's what I thought you were saying. That's why I was trying to make sure I understood what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. I didn't know that was like a thing. I thought that they made that up. I didn't realize that was really.
Or they can put a paper in its mouth too, which is interesting with all the bookmarks and stuff like that. You could put maybe that symbol on a piece of paper, put it in its mouth, and it might do something.
Yeah, I've seen stuff in their mouths and something I've seen. But yeah, the golem, I remember that they drew the symbol and then she like wiped it off or whatever.
Yeah, and Susie brings up the ancient Egypt stuff, and now I'm like thinking, what does that have to do with from? Because there was 2 of those references right away.
Yeah. Yes, guys, if you want a talisman discount, you can use We Love Dieter and Rabbit Tree Designs and get one. Thank you for that. So I forgot. I was like thinking you couldn't put the link, but you can see it on YouTube. It's just you can't see it in StreamYard because it's StreamYard and it's dumb. But you can in YouTube. Well, I guess unless you have any more to add, I will just say to everybody, please make sure you like the video, hype it if you can, and subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. And importantly, please make sure that you join our Discord if you're not a member to stay up to date on all our interviews and everything else. We almost have 300 members, so it'd be really great if we could get the rest of that. And yeah, always appreciated. But come in Discord, talk to us, join our watch parties. Tomorrow at 10 Eastern, we have our From review. That'll be me and AJ. Karen is still not back. That's at 10 Eastern tomorrow. Well, tonight, technically, Monday. And then Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, again, we have Liz Saunders coming live to answer your questions. So make sure you're around and you're in the chat. You can ask her what you want to know. And then Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern in Discord, we have our watch party for Widow's Bay, and our live stream with me, Scarlett, and Jen is at 11 Eastern. And we usually also play, Tuesday. I skipped Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday. Pretend I did that in the other order.
Tuesday. I thought you said Tuesday.
No, I said Monday, and then I said I jumped to Wednesday. Tuesday at 10 Eastern, we have our Fandom Access show where we review Widow's Bay. It's not the deep dive. And we're also going to be talking about the boroughs. That's Tuesday at 10. And our deep dive for Widow's Bay is Thursday. But I was going to say Tuesday night after Fandom Access, we usually, if people want to, usually do a watch party for Widow's Bay as well, that we can play. If there are people around who want to see it, if not, but if you are and you want to see it, we usually do play it then since it comes out Tuesday night. And like I said,
do you prefer hypes on streams or interviews?
I think probably the interviews have a bit, like, if you, I don't know.
Can you guys puff up Vigo? Because he's great.
Yeah, if you can do it on Vigo. The thing is, I think you only have like a week to hype videos. So
yeah.
It's kind of hard for me to say that because a lot of the interviews are probably too old now to do that. But
Vigo's.
But yeah, Vigo's is new. You could do Vigo's. So yeah, I appreciate all the hypes. Whatever you hype, it's good. But if there's like a From interview or something, that's even better. But what was I saying? I lost track of what I was saying. I don't know what I was saying. It went woo out the window.
Tuesday.
Sorry, what?
I said Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I was just saying we do watch Widow's Bay if you want to. But please join our Discord, because then you can do these different things with us and find out when everything is happening. You can send your questions along for people that I'm doing interviews with that aren't live, which does remind me, next week I will, actually Wednesday as well, I'm talking to Scott McCord and Robert Joy. It's not going to be a long interview. It'll be a short one. But if you guys drop your questions for them in the submit talent questions, I made a channel under From finally. I might be able to pull one from there if I have enough. If I have enough time, I can try to ask some of them. It depends, like I said, how much time I get and everything. And if I have any time left over, I will try to pick one. And yeah, maybe next time, Wes. I don't know. Tonight, I really can't stay much longer just because I have an interview really early tomorrow morning, and I got some stuff I got to do to prepare for it.
I teach young children. I have to sleep.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard sometimes.
Sleep.
Yeah, no. Well, it's harder, I think, on the From nights too, because we're later. It takes us longer to do that. But yeah, coming up soon. But yeah, I guess that's about it. I don't really have anything else other than please come to our next thing, and we will see you I guess tomorrow night, hopefully. More From talk tomorrow. But yes, thank you if you are here and you're watching. We really appreciate it, and yeah, we will see you next time. So thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Don't snore. Don't snore.